There, we got it. Look, here's everybody. Dude, we got a great show for you planned up tonight. This is the live Q&A. We do it, what, every week now? 8:30, Thursday night. You guys send pictures, you send questions, and we do our darndest to answer them as best we can, accurately and quickly. We got all these people here to help out. Gosh, thanks for coming in. Let's see, we got Coin Junkie, Amanda's here, Coy. There's Chris's Coin Channel. He's right down here, like the Brady Bunch. We got Paula Bluhm right over, nope, there. We got Schumar Coin Chats. It's Jeff Schumar. Down at the bottom is Mantic Coins. So we want to thank everybody for coming in, seeing with us. What we usually do is go around and introduce ourselves. So all you folks in the audience can say, oh, I know that dude. Okay, you probably want to start up?
Sure. I'm Paula Bluhm. I have a channel. Haven't posted anything in a while. Planning on getting back to it soon. I am a variety and error collector and other things, but mostly varieties and errors. And yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Not much to say. Everybody knows me.
I've got Jeff Schumar next.
So name's Jeff Schumar. I run the YouTube channel Schumar Coin Chats. You'll see me all over Facebook and groups. My specialty is die progressions and trends. And in essence, how the die wears down over its life and existence. That's kind of where I dwell nowadays. And this will be my last Q&A for a little while. We've got a big boy job nowadays, so that's gonna take up most of the time.
We'll have a seat open for you. You make sure you take a break about 8:30 at night.
I'll have to see on my break, so I might have 15 minutes.
Yeah, just stretch them a little. We'll be right here, baby. I've got Mantic Coins. Is Shay Hoffmaster in the blue?
Hello, I'm Shay Hoffmaster, and I have Mantic Coins YouTube channel and manticcoins.com website, and I am a coin roll hunter. I have spent the last few years learning half-dollar varieties and quarter varieties, and my favorite thing to collect is 2 cents. So ask me anytime, and I'll give you my 2 cents.
Oh, gosh. Okay,
it's not the dead jokes. We're not even.
Pretty bad.
I can't make this thing switch. There it is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our special guest of the season is you know him, you love him, you cannot live without him. It's Chris Rhodes.
Oh wow, I'm a special guest. I didn't know that.
Every day.
Hi everyone. Way to put me on the spot, Ken. Most of you guys know me from Facebook. I'm pretty active on the Facebook coin groups. I do have a YouTube channel, Chris's Coin Channel. I also write some blog articles. I've been a little slow right now because real life kicked in and I have some things going on. But I do have a lot of different informative articles on adventures in coinrollhunting.com. So check that out. And I'm here every week with my good friends. Hanging out and discussing coins and looking at people's coins and answering questions. So that's me. Nickname Road Dog. I put that on there tonight, special just for Jeffrey Schumar. We're going to miss him when he leaves. Poor little guy has to go get a real job, unfortunately, but, we'll miss him. He'll be back.
I'm not going anywhere, Chris. It's okay. It's like I'm falling off the face of the earth. Guys make it sound like I'm falling off the face of the earth. Not doing that now.
Yeah, you'll be back. No problem. You can take the boy out of the coin shop, but you can never take the coin shop out of the boy. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm up here in the top corner here. How do I do this? There, that's me. How are you? I'm Ken. I'm a hobby promoter. Dude, all I do is talk about coins. I show them off. I drop them. You name it. I like to see new collectors come into the hobby and be inspired to take it to the next level at all times. So we got a good show lined up here for you. People have already started to send in lots of photos. Good Lord, watch out for it. We got I don't think I have, I didn't do that thing CJ showed me how to do that thing with the banners. There. So I have to type it. Okay, create a banner. One moment, please. Check my coin at yahoo.com. There. It's spelled right. There it is. And if I click on that, it should pop up on the screen. There. If you have photos of your coin that you'd like to send in and ask about, that's where to send it to. Now, take a best shot you can, right? Nice, upright, straight, in focus. That's going to really be important. Also, if you can take a full shot of the front and a full shot of the back, as well as a close-up of the area you're asking about, that's going to help us a lot to diagnose what's going on with your coin. We can get a lot of information off that coin just by looking at the whole thing. Believe it or not, there's information that we can glean that you may not think to ask about or mention. So give us what you got. Let's see. I'm going to go back over here. Okay. Now, we always talk first at the start of the show about gosh knows what. And we'll get a nice little topic to talk about today. And while we're just rambling, you folks, send in your photos. Let me catch up on chat over here. There's Hoogie. Here he is. You got Cajun Coin Hunter. Linda Wallace. Linda sent in a bunch of necklaces. Look at these. Linda Wallace. Linda sent in some. Is that an echo? Is that an echo? That's all right. Okay. The question for today, for you guys to ponder and consider, and jump right in if you like. We've talked about what got you started in the hobby, right? I mean, everybody finds a penny or something or inherits something, but what is it? Was it a coin? Was it a resource or book or reference or article? Maybe a TV show, maybe a video, an event. Somebody gave you a coin or something you discovered. What is it that put you deep into the hobby, that drew you in, that sucked you into the abyss from which you would never escape? What made you just lose your mind about the hobby? Okay, don't everybody speak at once.
I mean, I guess I'll speak first. I guess it's not a Q&A if I don't talk about the 1955 cracked skull. I mean, of course, I remember when I first started YouTube, I actually found one. That was what was the start of the abyss. And right now I have probably 50 rolls of 55 cracked skulls sitting on my desk right now. So that's the definition of an abyss. So that's what kind of threw me into the rabbit hole of die progressions and trends. How those coins that are produced by that die change over the lifetime of that die. Cracks, chips, die failure. I mean, that was the big thing. So, I mean, started cataloging and documenting the 55 cracked skull and all, 8 dies of terminal die failure. That at least I've found. I imagine there's at least a couple more. So that kind of threw me deep into the hobby and niche within the hobby in terms of die progressions and trends. And it also kind of made me have a little bit of patience as well, because not all 55 cracked skulls are going to lead to a terminal die failure. So you have to have a little bit of restrictions and a little bit of trying to find the best word for it.
Self-control.
Self-control in terms of, because I'd be looking at cracked skulls till I'm rolling over in the grave if I don't have, at least some guidelines to use for it.
Be looking at cracked skulls till your beard turns red.
Oh, we're already there.
How about you, Shay? Is there something that took you from a lightweight collector into the heavyweight you are now?
I talk about this sometimes, saying that it's kind of like playing guitar. First you learn a few chords, then maybe you learn like an arpeggio or some other little, maybe you understand, what key you're in, and then you reach a new plateau and you're playing all sorts of stuff, and maybe you're strumming a whole song, or you can remember something. Anyway, you're reaching plateaus, right? When I first got into coin roll hunting, I scrimped and saved and got my first box of $50, and I found something like 15 Benjamins and Walking Liberties. Snap. I mean, look, that's silver just waiting to be pulled out of circulation. And I thought, oh my God, is every box going to be like this? And then I went like 5 more boxes with nothing. So I don't, it comes and goes. And then later, as I grew in searching, I'd searched a couple 100,000 rolls, and I started thinking, maybe I should do something. Now that I've figured out all these $50, I got a stone mountain in my $50 rolls. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. That's from 1925. How in the world is that in there? And so I deep dive on the subject, did a history lesson. I did a video on it. You can still see it posted. And that whole thing was so much fun for me that I just kind of really, really fell in love. Then later, as I started going through die progressions and learning all about the minting process, I got a hold of Breen. All right. And the guy has listed things that have been lost, like no other websites, no other books, no other information about $50 exists, and it's only in Breen. And so I started finding this stuff. I'm like, wow, nobody knows. They're just going right over the fact that you could find a 90% 1965 $50. You could find a 40% 1964. All right. Where is that written anywhere? Has anybody said that? I mean, that's the stuff I start uncovering and love about this hobby. Is the moment you think you know, you don't, and you're always surprised. And I love that. So anyway,
Ain't no end to it. Chris, you want to add something?
Yeah, man, why not? Shay, thanks for opening up like that. I appreciate it. It's nice to see your soft side. I've always been a collector of all kinds of things. I don't know why. It's natural to me. And unfortunately, most of the junk that people collect isn't really worth anything. So one day I finally realized, hey, this crap I'm collecting and taking up all this space in my home with is not worth anything. It's neat to look at, but that's about it. But one of those things that I collected were coins. I've always put anything that looked odd to me, or wheat pennies, obviously, buffalo nickels, anything that I found in change that was different. I got lucky lots of times and got silver certificates in change when I bought something. So I always put that stuff aside. I kind of just put it away and forgot about it. Most of the other crap that I collected, I sold because it was just taking up too much space and moving around from house to house. A couple times. I was tired of moving it, and plus my wife made me get rid of it. But I kept the coins. And one of the most recent moves I had, I opened up a box and I came across my coin collection. And I don't know why, but it sparked a pretty dark or deep interest. And yeah, it is kind of dark. It's dark down here. And I don't know why, but I couldn't get rid of the feeling. And it's just like an addiction. I have coins everywhere. Not a piece of change leaves my house without me looking at it. It's really like, it's an addiction. I don't know how else to explain it. It's weird. And then I started getting into varieties and stuff like that. And I seem to retain the knowledge pretty easily. I seem to get a really good understanding of how stuff works and how these things were created. Probably because I have a pretty strong mechanical ability, I think. And it just makes sense to me. But the fact that some of this stuff is kind of rare and adds value to what would be an otherwise non-valuable coin, it's intriguing to me. So I just grabbed a hold of that and couldn't let go, and here I am. I actually started out really strong. I got so lucky in the beginning. I found a 1997 doubled ear. That one really piqued my interest. It's one of my favorites. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's as popular as it should be. You can pick those up relatively cheap on eBay if you find the real one, because of course there's one good one out of 30 bad ones on eBay. But I found a couple 72s that were decent, and next thing you know, I'm elbows deep in this, getting boxes from the bank every single week and buying the poor bank ladies Dunkin' Donuts gift cards because they're catering to my needs. And here I am now. I'm kind of like a dealer, I guess. It's funny how the hobby progresses, and I do all of that stuff not really to make money, but to build my collection and sustain the hobby for myself. And I know a lot of other people do that as well. As a matter of fact, today at work, a guy brought in a collection he had, and he was no longer interested in it, and I bought the whole thing off of him. So I guess I'm doing that now. So what got me into it? I don't know. It's a disease, I guess, for me, but I love it, and it's a healthy one. And when you collect coins, you'll never go broke. Remember that. And that's all I have to say about that.
It's okay, baby. I got into it when I found some coins in my grandmother's button can, and that was all well and good. And then I learned that I could find more of these old pennies, right, with the old style wheat, and it says 1 cent. And I could just keep going back and back and back and back and back and further back. And that was neat. I think the trigger for me was that right there, Whitman folder, of all things. Real simple. Let me get the, here it is. Real simple, just a folder that has every date, every mint mark, because now I have an objective. I want to fill all the way back. I want to get every darn one of them. I want to get this one, which is what? 1945 S silver nickel. I want to get that out of my pocket change. But this gave me the complete bit of information I need to assemble a circulated set of a series, right? It was all well and good that I could find a wheat penny here and there, right? Everybody likes the wheats. Geez, you can still get them in. You can still get these in circulation. But back when I was doing it, they were all kind of brown, you know, kind of grumpy and got a hole in it, pockmarked. And then I got my first one that was brand new, shiny, and dude, it was like a brand new penny. I could not believe they made these things still, except they didn't make them still. They've just been well preserved. Then I got into the nickels. So, geez, I could find buffalo nickels in change. And again, I had the wheat penny folder, and I went and got one of these for the Jeffersons, one for the buffaloes. But I only had a couple of buffaloes. When I was 12, my grandmother gave me a Franklin $50, and it was freaking gorgeous. It's like MS 75 with full steps. It was nice. I never seen one hadn't even seen one down at the coin shop where I go and take my snow shoveling money and buy a penny for 15 cents, and that was a lot of money for me. Then I realized, geez, there's a lot more than just the pennies and the nickels. You can get a lot of this stuff out of change, and you still can. But I was getting into 2 centers. Geez, picked up a ½ cent way back in the day, and it was you never seen such a thing. It was glorious. It was like finding treasure. 13 stars, had a hole in it, but to me it was incredible. In 1828. The only thing that old that I ever had seen was my great grandmother. Come on. But there was no stopping. There was no limit. You could keep going further back in time. You could go from pennies to nickels to dimes to everything, all of it. It was still several years before I got a silver dollar. But I could get Ikes pretty easy. There were, you go to the store. You get any of those big dollar coins? There you go, kid. There you go. That'd be $1. You send that up. Paula, are you stuck? Paula, I think I lost power. Okay. I see. She's on data. But there's something a lot of times that'll get you into the hobby, and you'll dabble. Right? There's nothing wrong with going through rolled change and picking something out of pocket change. But there's a trigger, or there can be, maybe you haven't found it yet, that is going to grab your attention and bring you deep into the hobby, where now you have a drive to complete a set or get one of every nickel. There's only, what, 4 designs on the nickel? There's a shield nickel, the V nickel, the Buffalo, and what's that other one? The Jefferson. That's it. There's 4 designs on nickels, right? For small cents, you get a Lincoln cent, you get an Indian, you get a Flying Eagle, and then you get them big ones. But you got to watch out because they're heavy and they're easy to drop.
Don't forget those 3-cent nickels and half dimes and.
Oh gosh, there's over 20 centers, right?
Well, in the 2004s and 2005s.
Yep. Well, that's another. There's so much more variety. Yeah, I was I don't know,
Never ends.
10 before I realized there were mint marks. I mean, now I got to have
And that new creepy Jefferson design.
How's that?
The new creepy Jefferson design. Let's not forget about that.
I can't look at those. I get really uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's watching you.
Stop looking.
Nostrils and the double dye on his nose.
Yeah. And then you get them off the trees. Then you look for them in the build. Stop staring. Lordy.
I feel like somebody's watching me.
The Michael Jackson variety. But there's a trigger for some people that will bring them into the hobby, keep it going for a lifetime. And that's what I'm trying to find, is those sparks. What sparks people? Is it this simple? Is it as simple as, a $5 folder? It can be. Maybe it's just giving them, their first Indian penny. Maybe it's just giving them their first Buffalo nickel. That's a lot of sodium. Says I found 20 silver $half yesterday. Oh man, that'll keep your interest in there. That'll keep your interest level up.
Every time I find a variety, I get the spark. I love it. I get excited. It could be worth 30 cents extra. I don't care. I got it. It's mine. I'm just as addicted as Chris is. So I actually find myself wanting to look through coins just to chill out. And like, if I hadn't done it in a day, I feel like I've totally missed out on something. I don't understand it, but I guess that's just a fact of life now.
Everybody's got their thing. Maybe your thing is staring at your cell phone and walking down the street and then falling into a ditch. Maybe your thing is cooking. A lot of people get into that. My father, he did a lot of woodwork. He did some fantastic work, let me tell you. Hotches and glorious, just beautiful woodwork. I got another uncle. He does. He goes hunting, dude. He will hunt down Bigfoot if you let him. Put him up on his man wall, his man cave. Everybody's got their thing. Well, there's nothing wrong with coins being a thing. We're kind of nerdy. We're kind of geeky because we know all sorts of things about coins. But it's our thing. Well, we can take pride in that.
I tried stamps, but you can't touch them.
Yeah. What is that? My brother did stamps. I never. What? Just lick it.
No, you think coin collectors are nerds? Stamp collectors are nerds.
Oh, do not start on stamp collectors.
How many stamps are there? You got to have the ones that are not licked and re-licked.
Oh, you got to have the plate blocks, Ken. Come on now.
I think I got 20,000 plate blocks. I know.
I don't know what that means. All right, I'm going to give you the link here.
Don't learn.
Not unseparated stamps.
Oh boy.
How you buy them and they're all stuck together?
Yep.
That's a block.
I get the books now. That's so much easier.
Actually, stamps are making a bit of a comeback. There's some good articles in the latest Gray Sheet about, or maybe it was, I don't know, it's coin articles. I read lots of coin articles anyway. And it was a little turn on stamps, and a lot of coin dealers saying, oh yeah, stamps are dead. But man,
they are
actually a stamp that sold for $100,000 recently, over $100,000. So there are stamps, maybe $1 million. There is still love for stamps. Don't think that it's
Yep. Bill Betts just touched on one. The upside down Jenny.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Not the car.
no, it's an airplane.
There's one with an airplane upside down.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Jenny.
funny. Okay. Miss Place Uper says she was at the post office yesterday, and one lady was going through all the different ones they had for collecting. Hurry up, lady! I got to mail my parcel.
Oh, it's so pretty, that little birdie. I think I want that. I just don't know. I can't make up my mind. Maybe the car.
You know what they got now? They got these dinosaur stamps. I could get a book of those. There are a few stamps worth much, says Linda. And Shay brought up the point. No, excuse me, Chris brought up the point that a lot of the coins that you're going to find in circulation aren't worth a whole lot. Wheat pennies, circulated wheat pennies, are good for probably 4 or 5 cents. These old Jeffersons, they're probably good for a nickel or 2 nickels or 3 nickels, a couple 3 times face. But there are coins out there that are worth a whole lot more than face. That's where that knowledge comes in. That's where your persistence and your striving for more gets you the information that you need to be able to pick out those cherries. Don't lick the adhesive stamps. Just a public safety announcement. Don't. It's a bad luck.
What happens if you lick coins?
Nothing. But if you do it a lot, you can actually grade the coin. Hey, watch this. Watch this. That one's VF, and it's been cleaned. It's a skill. You get it every time now. Okay, I'm going to give you the link here. You'll find this also right below the description. And it is the link. No, it's not a link. It's an email address. It's checkmycoin@yahoo.com. So you can send your photos in. We had quite a few come in already. So if you can't find it on the screen, you'll find it just below the video here. Let's see, I got to find the chat again. Shay often, he's our specialist at running these computers, and he's got pretty good bandwidth too. Have you found one that come in yet? What?
Huh?
What? Those lips are moving.
Yeah, I've got a few of them, and I've got them loaded up. Let me start with them.
All right.
Ken licks coins, and I sniff Red Seal notes.
Hey, man, whatever floats your boat.
It smells like the 80s. I don't know.
A lot of Sodium says he found a 2005 with a die crack on the 3rd pillar of the Lincoln Memorial. You're going to get those. These dies don't last forever, and they do form cracks. They have chips drop off of them. And if they're in the right spot and prominent and recorded, they can have some premium. Seinfeld, was it George Costanza's fiance licks all the envelopes for the wedding, invitations to go out. She goes down. Yeah. What is that gorgeous thing?
This was from DD Crew, and it came in on the 31st. It says medium S, 1880/79. Yeah. I am not the Morgan guy.
You're looking at the data.
Looks like there's something going on with that 8. Let me see. If there's a better shot. There's the S.
Where's Brian Raines when you need him?
I just can't. I can't tell.
We're not getting enough resolution on that. It's a good looking piece, though.
Yeah, I mean, you got a little bit of.
What do they think it is, Shay?
A what?
What do they think it is?
80/79, maybe a repunch date.
Let me see if I can find anything that matches. I mean, I see some things going on at the date like you do, but like you said, the resolution just isn't there.
Maybe some clashing over here.
I've got a diagnostic photo. Let me pull this one up. Ready?
There we go.
Okay, I got this from USA Coin Book. I quote them because they got a lot of good information, real easy to reach. I'm going to exit the solo here. I need to make that one big. Wait for it. And then I go here to the screen. There. And there it is. This is the 1880. That should be the prominent date, what you see. But the 1880 over 79, you're looking for some very tiny diagnostics in and around the 8 and around the 0, which would be the remnants of the 79. And they're going to be inside the digits. Is what it looks like here. And the site for that is USA Coin Book. Are you seeing these? I can't zoom in anymore on this. Are you seeing these diagnostics on that coin?
I'm seeing. Let's see that coin again there, Shay. Zoom that baby in.
Should be on top of the digits.
I'm not seeing it there.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it on the 0. 0 is where 0 over the 8 is going to be a little more to see. Yeah, I don't see it, at least for me, at least from my perspective.
Well, it's going to have the reverse of 79, so it'll have the wide fletching on the top arrow. Maybe that'll help point in the right direction. That looks right.
Yeah, it's reverses.
Yeah, the fletching, the feathers on the arrow, that top one.
Yeah, it's
That's the right shape for the 80 over 79. So it pretty much comes down to the date, but I can't see enough on this.
Yep, I'd say we need sharper images.
There you go. And we're looking at the top surface of that relief.
yeah, there is. It does look like there's something poking out the bottom of that second 8, but I don't know. I haven't handled enough Morgans to.
So not quite enough information. We could use some a better close-up of the date for sure. But I think you should chase the other pickup points and investigate some more. So cool. Very cool. DD Crew, thank you for sending that in. And let me pull up the next coin.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a link to Ram
That
World.
was a nice coin, by the way. Nice coin. CJ, yes, that was an 1880s.
If I can pull this up, here it is. Okay, Ram World. These two guys, Van Allen and Mollis, put together a book about die varieties on Morgan dollars. Well, it's been turned into a website, and you're going to find that site right here. It's vanworld.com. And compare what you have with what they have. And they probably got sharper images for that 80 over 79.
CJ saying there's only 2 examples of the 80 over 79 listed for S, and neither match the example that was shown here. So
the next one comes from D. Reese. Says, strike through from a mint set. What would have caused this?
oh wow.
The rim's not struck.
Yeah.
I'd want to see the back on that.
We only have 2 photos.
Okay, if there's damage corresponding on the reverse of this, I would suspect it to be post-mint damage. Now, if there was debris between the planchet and the die when it was struck, you could get this sort of thing, and that's exactly the shape of the debris, and that's called a struck through. But a key diagnostic to determine if it's a strike through error is to see if there's damage on the reverse, because if it was struck through the die, the other side of the coin would be impacting the die. All you would have there is a good sharp image. But if it was damaged after it left the mint, then we could expect the reverse to have some damage because it would be effectively absorbing the blow.
Yeah, you're likely to see like a bubble-looking thing on the other side, a raised surface. I see that all the time on Kennedys. People abuse them like you would not believe.
That's a good sized coin.
Yeah, I'd want to see the reverse before making a call on that.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. It looks pretty good. A lot of times damage on a coin will push up the metal. So you have these like a furrow effect. But this, it looks like the edges of that anomaly are flush with the rest of the surfaces.
All right. He says he's going to send in another the reverse here in a few minutes. So we'll check that out in a few minutes, and let me load up the next coin.
All right. I'm going to catch up on chat over here.
Yeah, that's a prime example of send us images of both sides of the coin, the whole coin, because that reverse is going to tell us a lot about what that's going to be.
All right. The next one is from Mickey Robs Banks. Bicentennial clad half tower top of bell tower.
Oh, there it is. I told him to send this one in. What is going on here?
Struck through grease.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like right here.
Yeah.
All right, they these dies, these machines that they are pressing these out, it's called a Schuyler press. They're fast, right? They're putting out 10, 12 coins per second. Well, to make the machinery work right, they kind of lube it up here and there. Every now and then, some of the lubricant will splash onto the dies. And when it lands on a field, it'll just spread out, but you still have this material between the die and the planchet, and it has no place to go except into the devices. Well, on the fields, what it's going to do is will take up the space that would otherwise be occupied by the metal of the planchet. So it would be depressed on the coin. You'll see it on a lot of quarters. You'll see that all the time. It's kind of a different color area, just kind of dull rather than shiny. And the edge is not necessarily as sharp as the example you see here. That's a pretty good sharp edge. And it's just struck through grease. Now, what it does to the devices sometimes is fill them up. The grease that gets in there is one thing, but also any dust, particles, little bits starts to get in there and stick to it and pack it out. So you'd end up with a void on the die being filled up with this doo-doo. I've actually got a piece of plastic here to give you an example if you like. Yeah, here it is. Watch this. You'll love this. Okay, right there. There. Okay. I pressed this into some Play-Doh not too long ago, but it was long enough ago that this has solidified, and I just had a stick, and it's run off. Oh, okay, here's this. But what happens when that gunk gets in the die is it solidifies. And then you have this bit in here, which doesn't want to come out. But if I press another coin, the metal can't get into this space. But I can take that out over time, and then you have something else going on. It's called a dropped letter. There it is. That's the bit that was in that space. And then this is now debris bouncing around in the chamber. And if it lands on the die, it can be struck through. So the next coin to be struck would have a kind of a void, and it can be shaped just like the letters. They call it a dropped letter.
Very cool. I searched for like the "In God We Rust" quarters, and you can see that the T and trust is kind of got the same stuff going on that this tower has going on. Very cool.
I've got a greaser here on an interesting coin you might like to see. If I can find it. I swear it was right here. How come the one I want to see is not where it should be? Okay, I'll try to keep finding that. Give me just a minute. Wow, everything was here until I needed it.
All right. Let's see. While you're looking for that, let me load up another one. Mr. De Beers. Let's see. Very
You
cool.
must have known I was coming for it because it's run off.
All right. So Mr. D. Beers sends this in 2019 W, America, the beautiful quarter. What is this? Looks raised to me.
Nope, that's not.
Contact marks.
It's a contact mark from another quarter.
You're going to see these all the time. You go through 15 more quarters in that same box or in that same roll or in your coffee can. You're going to find those marks. And that's the reeded edge of another quarter impacting this coin. It might be kind of elongated. Maybe it's struck at an angle. But that's all it is. Very common. Memorize that marks. You don't see more than 3.5 because the curve of the coin takes the reeds away. And you never contact more than 3.5.
It is very distinct, and it will always be the same, pretty much. I mean, parts not always be the same, but the distance. I don't know. Sometimes you can see them. There, I mean, they're different sizes for sure. It's just that same pattern, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Yep.
Got a brand new quarter right here, and I can show you the edge. You know what the reeds look like, of course. Let's see. There's the scope. Okay, we got a quarter brand spanking new. It's a Kasachi. If I come over here and look at these reeded edges, well, there's kind of a bevel on these, and you end up with a D shape. And the flat side will be the top corner. And it comes out 2 angles and a more or less flat front. And that's what's impacting your coin. And you compare that distance, and I bet you that'll match up perfectly with what you have on that coin. You're going to see it all the time. So keep an eye out. Clock on the wall says 3 o'clock. What's the putter lines on the clock? Just as I putter. Oh, I'm way behind on the chat here, like an hour. 4 in a row on the Kentucky. Ant has seen him.
Yeah, I thought my chat was lagging or something because Ken clicked on the comment and I didn't see that comment.
Oh, it was like 20 minutes ago. They didn't scroll. Okay, that's a good looking Lincoln.
So the next one's from John J. Hello, I have a dirty circulated cent. From what I believe I see, this coin has possibly been stamped more than once. It appears there is doubling of Lincoln's hair and forehead in front of Lincoln. It appears to be doubling of Lincoln's back. Looks like the collar runs straight back. Thank you very much. 1988 P cent. All right. Let's see what we got here.
Brain playing tricks on you.
You got a lot of color on there, which tells you it's been wet, probably in a fountain or something. Your brain is going to decide, hey, man, these are actually designs. You look at clouds, you see Mickey Mouse, you see a pony. But I see no evidence of any raised metal or duplicated image. If you stare at it long enough, you might find some similarities to Lincoln.
Yeah, it doesn't resemble any sort of multi-strike. Because what will happen when there's multi-strikes is the resulting strikes, I mean, most of the time, at least if it's struck in color, it's going to obliterate the previous image, leaving maybe a touch of the previous strike, but it's very minute and it's all the time. You got to understand how fast that press is going to where that coin's not going to shift. The coin's not going to shift too much. So you have like resulting images and all the multi-struck and color that you see for the most part. They're going to be right next to it. I mean, right next to the design that's there.
Yeah, but it's going to obliterate some detail. I'm going to give you a link to AeroRef. That's what I'm going to do. And you can compare what you have to what they have for specimens. Let me do that for multiple strike. Okay, that's AeroRef. It's probably the best darn site out there for error identification. And let me see if I can find one that's kind of close to what you're describing. There we go. We got a couple of things here I can share with you. Perfect. This is the errorref.com. Error reference. Great site. You got a coin right here that was struck multiple times. All right. The first thing you see is there's no rim on the inside because the die has no rim. It's just strike over strike over strike. But each successive strike will obliterate most or all of the detail from the previous strike. Okay. They could be on center, they could be off center, they could be in the collar, they can be out of the collar, they can be delayed. All sorts of things going on, but they're usually the kind of thing that you look at them and you say, "Dude, this is whacked. This is a double struck in collar with a 90-degree rotation between the strikes." Okay, here you got Queen Elizabeth, and you've got one part of the image and then a secondary part of the image with more of it totally destroyed.
Ken, you want to make yourself larger so they could see what you're pointing at a little better?
All right, let me see how I can do that. That it? There we go. There's our buddy.
Yep.
Okay, here's a multiple strike, and it's on center and off center with some differences to see. But One strike obliterates the previous strike. That's the way this works. And the site is errorref.com. You'll see that posted in the chat. Here's a delayed strike. It was struck once, partially ejected, and then struck again. Now, go figure that one out. These are just oddities. Okay, this one was struck, then rotated and struck again. So you got some of the detail that should be in a different part of the coin showing up here. Here's Lizzie, and you see this section down below where the secondary strike, the second strike, is still pretty much clear, but the first one is almost totally obliterated. Might be a little shift to it. You've got the section behind her head. You can make out the outline of it, but it's they put 30 billion pounds of pressure on these things. Ain't nothing left. Let's see, but you've got on collar or in collar, out of collar, on center, off center, flip over strikes, numerous closely spaced strikes. There's everything in here, dude. Get in there and check it out. Straddle strikes are kind of neat. Looks like two strikes in the same coin with another one in the middle. But it's a delightful site, and it has a great deal of information that can be useful for you. It's kind of dry reading, but I recommend reading that whole thing. There we go. But I don't see any evidence of that, any secondary striking on this coin.
Yeah.
It does have a worn out die. You've got a rim ridge over there on the right side, which is just a raised edge inside the collar. The thing to check on the 88, check the ear for doubling, and make sure you look for a FG. See if you can find that horizontal bar on the G. I'm not going to see it in this shot.
All right. Next images are from Kid Dead OK. A friend sent this. All right.
That one looks like extreme heat damage.
That's the first thing that occurred to me.
Yeah.
I got hair detail on some of this raised up section. Well, the only way to do that on the die, you have to look to the minting process, would be that that bit of the die sunk in for it to be raised on the coin. Yeah, that got hit with a magnifying glass blowtorch, arc welder, something cooked that baby up.
Yeah, and this one, it looks like it was cleaned too. So could have been in a house fire and somebody, metal detected and dug it up and cleaned it. And you never know, but this is definitely indicative of extreme heat.
Yeah, you'll see them with blisters on them.
Yeah, so this is probably a good example of just thinking about the minting process. If a coin was struck with a die, think of the die that would need to be to strike this coin. That die would be out of commission. Ripples, that die would be like a wave. That's just not possible. Rely on your minting process. Rely on your minting process. Your minting process will tell you what's possible and what's not possible.
Yeah, how can the die be altered to create that strike? How can it be punched in repeatedly? How can you stick something in between there and make it? It all comes down to can it be done at the mint? Most of the coins that people send into these Facebook groups that we help out in, these new collections, most of the time it's going to be damaged. Make that assumption first, and you're going to be right almost every time. The more experience you get, well, that's a better chance that, hey, this one isn't damaged. Well, set that aside and give it a better look and try to explain how it could be made with the minting process that we use right now.
the advice I give to a lot of new collectors, 99.9% of the time, it's going to be one of three things: damage, machine doubling, or die deterioration resulting in some sort of abnormality. I can't say that word.
Abnormal.
Yeah, unnormal. And then the 1% of the time, it could be something good. Keyword on could. Don't get discouraged. It's that 0.1% that makes varieties and errors have value.
Yeah. Anytime you think, if you can't explain how it came into being, just save it, keep it until you can decide for yourself whether or not is it damage or is it something special. And show it to people. Hey man, what's going on with this? Because you'll learn. Oh, Jeff S is here.
All right, I got the next one. Let me load it up here. It's from Hector's Interests in Coins. Close this one out. So Hector says, I have a new microscope and I'm checking my coins before I turn them into the bank. Just wanted to see if this is a possible DDO and to learn if I am looking at the right way.
Well, I am a USB microscope user myself to search coins. And these early 2000s will trick you. For some reason, the devices on these are typically thicker looking. Your images look good. The only thing I would recommend, it looks like you may have your scope on a slight tilt, which is making the light come from the above a little bit. I might change that up a little bit and actually lower the lighting level. Other than that, this is what you need to find, modern doubled dies. This one is not a doubled die, but it's definitely a good eye noticing that they seem thicker anyway. 2001s specifically seem to get me too. I always take a double look, but this one is not.
Another thing you're going to find on these early 2000s are some weaker strikes, not quite strong enough to squeeze all the metal into all the depths of the die. So you end up with like a flat surface, right? Sometimes you have almost an outline where the metal got a little bit deeper around the edges as it went into the cavity. That's just a weaker strike. Look to the center of the circles, right, and the zeros, and see if you have any points. We talked about cusp before, and these are nice and smooth and even. But when it looks like a cat's eye, when it comes to a point, then you have something. Also look at the bottoms of the numbers, say the 1, for example, and it's smooth, it's straight. Now, if you have a tilt on that or a step, that's an indicator that you got something. But you're at the level you need to be at to pick them out.
And the other thing on the 2001D, be sure and look at the back inside the memorial building next, all around Lincoln. Look for Class 9 doubled dies. So I look for on the 2001Ds. All right. Next, we have Mr. Robert Leister. All right.
And there were some little ripples on that planchette. That's a plating issue from the zinc plant. What is that?
Yo, Ken, I think your dinosaur got out, man. It was eating coins again.
Knock it off.
This coin is interesting to me because I have come across quite a few, and mostly Indian heads, actually, that have the same type of notch taken out of them. And there's a purpose. I think it was used as some sort of tool for something. I just can't figure out what it was because I have come across quite a few of these. Anybody else?
I have come across buffalo nickels that have that sort of notch in them.
Yeah, I mean, it was something that somebody did to the coin for a reason. I just can't figure out what it was for. But this is definitely damage.
So Robert L says, is this a planchet error or just post-mint damage? If this is
Damage.
not PMD, then would this error be caused by the planchet manufacturing process? It is not a curved clip because it is in a regular shape. I think it's a damaged coin, but in the event I am wrong, this would be a good learning experience. Thank you for your insights.
Shay, flip back over the obverse in that area, if you would. I'm seeing some metal like. Man, words are not working for me tonight.
Go with it. Don't worry about a thing.
It's like pin snips.
I think what
Yeah.
Jeffrey's trying to get at is you can definitely see a disturbance in the metal right around the outline of the portion that's missing. It's actually slightly raised.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah. So that's evidence of some sort of tooling being done to that coin. And you know what? Welcome, Jody. Jody's in the chat here tonight now. There are some irregularly shaped clips out there. They're harder to come by. Curved clips, straight clips, they're relatively common. You start getting into a ragged clip or a fissure, and that's going to be kind of similar to this in a way, but not quite the same. But there are, clear diagnostics to tell the difference between the two. This one is definitely damaged. This picture really shows that raised lip of metal around the missing portion.
Yep. Now, if that bit of metal was missing on the planchet when it went into the die, that die is going to flatten it right out. Okay. If the planchet went into the upsetting mill, right, that big gap in there, you need a full-size planchet in order to get opposing forces so you can raise the rim on both sides. This side here below the Liberty and on the opposite side at about 2 o'clock. So another diagnostic to look for is a weak rim opposite the missing section. And that looks pretty sharp over here. That's called the Blakesley effect. And look for it on both sides.
Another kind of bouncing off of Ken talking about that coin going in the rolling mill. If this was an authentic clip of some nature, I would want to see some weakness going into it, some sort of tapering down to where when that goes in the rolling mill, there's going to be forced to hit that area going down to that clip, and that goes straight from a normal rim straight down to where that damaged area is. I want to see some weakness in that area as well.
Yeah, I say this is PMD.
Yep, I agree. All right. Very good. All right, so the next one is from Super Silverman, 1970 proof Kennedy DDO 005. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Shaysville House.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Ooh, me like you. Look at that notch on that bottom of the top left. Oh, that is nice. Looks like a little mouth.
Nom nom nom. Eating up your paycheck. Nom nom nom.
Yeah.
You've
Nice
got
one.
key indicators for double die showing up all over the place here. You've got wider devices. You have separation lines. You have raised metal with relief. You've got notches. That is every bit of a double die. Anybody want to pull up which one it is?
Jay Priority has it figured out.
Yeah, I'm checking the stand. Hold on.
Shay's probably shaking right now.
Got the shakes. Get the shakes.
On the inside of the vertical part of the 7, you have these multiple separation lines. Not only is a double die, this is probably what, 1, 2, 3, triple or quadruple die.
Yeah, I see 3 of them there, Ken.
Yeah,
I see what you're
3.
saying.
Now this is the result of the hub being pressed into the die. This is part of the process of producing these dies. The hub is driven in, then pulled back, then driven in again. Right? It's just pressed in, much like minting a coin, but they're hubbing the die. So the die itself has been doubled. Now if they retract it and press it in a third time, hub it a third time, that would be a tripled die. There are instances of up to over 5 anyway, repetitive hubbings. And with each one, it's just shoved over just a little bit. But there's nothing to obliterate the design. So you just have a deeper groove on the die, a deeper impression on the die.
See, you noticed how, when this first popped up, how all of us went ooh, with a little bit of patience and experience. When those good double dies pop up, they will jump and bite you face off.
You can't miss them. Look at the bottom lower left of the N. Big fat split. And on a proof coin, that's a delight. There's a lot more attention given to the proof dies.
So one of the things I want to talk about is that in the listing for DDO005, you want to find, and this is from our SAN database, all right, 1970S, there are 10 different DDO varieties. Now, the thing about 5 and a couple of the others is that you want to check the top of the hair at the top of the head also. And the letters of liberty, you want to see, because it's supposed to be the description is a class 1. And so there would be some rotation, counterclockwise rotation. And I'm not certain. Well, I'd want to see the rest of the letters around the edge, so they should all have doubling. Some of them would have tripling, and then you want to check the hair on the back of the head. So what I'm getting at is it may or may not be a DDO05. We can't tell with just these few pictures. We'd have to get the whole front of the coin and check around and make sure all the different devices are what they say. So it is a doubled die. That is for sure. So
Super Silverman says it's a 1970S.
1970S. That's right. Did I say something different?
No, I think you got it.
Okay. Yeah, very nice, Silverman.
Each of these double dies will have specific diagnostics, and you need to have them all, especially on a proof set, or proof coin. But as you wear down the double die, you're going to start to obliterate some of these devices that will help you to identify it positively. And it starts to get tricky, especially when you get down to, say, fine or lower. Some of the diagnostics can be just gone. And so you can tell it's a double die, but you can't tell exactly which one it is. But this one's pretty clear. It looks good to be a 5, but we can't tell for sure because we can't see the whole coin. And Silverman says he'll send another email with more pictures.
Cool. Yeah, that last batch, the last batch of dimes was like, I don't know, megabytes. There's a whole bunch of extra files. I'm not sure what they are. But I'm just opening up the JPEGs. Not certain what's going to happen if I try to open the videos. But I'm going to go ahead and open the JPEGs for the next set of pictures that Silverman sent.
Frank's with us. What's up, Frank?
The next one, Silverman says 1966 SMS 5 on Roosevelt's cheek. So it's Roosevelt. Oh, I can see it now. Yeah. Very nice. These have been, I think
Where we
these were
going?
reported in Kim Potter's book, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was discovered by Robert Lawson.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yep.
Finds them on SMSs. And if you contact him, I bet you he'll try to buy it off you. He's got a thing for these. So what is it? The debate's out there. Is it something that was struck through the coin? It's raised. Geez, how does that make sense? How about it was struck through while the die was being hubbed? So it left a deeper impression in the hub. That's an idea. Is it a 5? Geez, so if you look at the various specimens out there, the bottom end of the 5 keeps on trailing on. It's not the same thickness as the 5 used in the date. What's going on? It's definitely a neat one. And there are coins out there that have these anomalies. They're not yet explained. Give it time. We'll find a way to explain it. But they're certainly collectible.
UFC. Identified freaking coin.
Yeah. We call them UXAs, unexplained anomalies. Wexler uses the term UFO. And other attributors just have them listed like off to the side, and they'll get to them when they get more information. Yeah, that one's a peach. Who got this one in?
Silverman.
Yeah.
That's definitely a match to the other known examples.
I'm curious to know how many of these were discovered as of now. I have seen
6 or 7.
A few, only a handful. That I know of, at least.
Special min sets, you're probably looking at what, 50 to 100,000 strikes per die?
I bet you could cherry pick these, though. You know.
You'd really have to have that in person. The detail is so darn fine, and the lighting is key to identifying these, because you got to have serious resolution to pick those out. There it is, though. It's like the what is it? The Superman Washington quarter has the same sort of an S shape on the breast.
somebody said in the chat earlier that they actually just found one. I don't know if it was as they were watching our broadcast here or not, but
Superman says he has a die crack coming out of the lip. That'd be a fantastic die marker. Could we get a close up on the lips on this thing? Looks like a polishing line. That's straight.
yeah, I would say that's more of a scratch there, yeah. Or that's not on the case though, is it? Because it extends into the lips.
Another one a little up above, just under the nose, parallel. See, polishing lines can be parallel. There's a diagonal to the lower, right in front of the chin.
Yeah, the weird thing is it looks the same on the flat field of the coin as it does on the raised portion of his lips.
Yeah. We might be looking at something different. What's between the lips? Right in there. Yeah, I bet you that would be a wonderful die marker to help you attribute these correctly. But that bright line that we're talking about, I think that's on the plastic. That,
Mhm.
Yeah.
And up there, that looks like a little blemish on the plastic. Now, every coin produced by this die has that 5 looking thing and probably have that little bit in between the lips. Do we know what they're marketing for?
What was that?
Silverman, just curious, who's asking if he's in? Yeah, Anna Hutchinson is asking if you're in Ohio by chance. Apparently, a lot of these were found in Ohio, and that is where Robert's from, isn't it?
Yep. Now, does Robert have 2 of them? And maybe it's a 44 double die number 22. He's got two of those, I know. But being hugged through debris is one potential theory for that. It's raised on the coin, so there has to be on the die a depression on the die. What would cause that? All kinds of things. A gouge, a bit of damage somehow. A mad mint worker with a knife being hugged through debris could do it. Robert has several of those, says Cindy.
John Blaggett said he has 3.
Snatch them up. They're getting publicized, and one thing that gives coins great value is publicity, is hype. Yep. Get them. Get more. Hold them. Wait for a market value to start to develop, but to get that, you got to sell and trade. 5 to 10 of the darn things to start to come up with a market value.
I don't think I've seen one of them sell, so I don't know what the market on them is.
The market is Robert buys them all, I think.
I'm going to try to open up Lumpies.
Oh, I've got that one downloading now. So Mickey Rob's Banks, that last zip file from the other day did not come through. I mean, it came through, but it won't open. It's corrupted. From September 4th. We appreciate you sending it in. It was a 2019 P. It looks like America the Beautiful, American Memorial Park. Has some mint markings of a DDD, but I couldn't get it open, so it keeps saying it's corrupted. Ken, you got Agent Lumpy? He's got 2.
Almost.
Okay.
I was make a note. I see Jody over here. He's saying that 5 on the SMS cheek. There's one listed on eBay right now for $2,500 with lots of watchers. We shall see. Okay, that'll be neat if that comes into something.
Guess what I'm starting to cherry pick?
Dimes, SMS sets. There it is. I got Lumpies up here. Let me pull them. Looks like a crater in the hair feathers, back of the head, shield, front of ear, and eye has stars under it and looks off. Let's have a look what we got. Nope, that's the wrong button. There we go. Okay, bear with me while we get this sorted out. There. That didn't work. I'm having technical there. Stand by. It does not want to jump over to the video here. Let me minimize this. I'm not able to load that image.
Let me see if I can grab it.
What's this? What is this madness?
Uh-oh.
The app didn't start in the required time. What the? The blue screen of death.
Hold on, let me see if I can grab it.
There it is. We got him.
You got it? All
I
right.
think so. Maybe. You can see it, yes or no? That's not it. Wait a minute. Let me see if you can see this. There we go. I got an Ike, 1972. This is a proof Ike, looking at the fields, but it's also been impaired. It's been passed around in circulation, and that is an S. I got a lot of marks on this. Yeah. And let's see what we can glean off of here. Well, it was a good cameo, but it looks like it's been messed up.
Ken, what was the question with this one?
He sees several different things around here. I'm not able to change photos here. Looks like a crater in the hair feathers. back of the head. So the hair feathers would be, no, it looks like a crater in the hair. Let's use more punctuation. Feathers in the back of the head, a shield on the front of the ear, and eye has stars under it. Okay, here's another image. Feathers on the back of the hair.
Crater in the hair.
This is a normal part of the design above the ear. You get a lot of marks on here. It looks like it's been polished. These bits down here below the ear are corrosion spots. That's what these spots are.
Unless he's talking about that little bit of haziness behind the head, if that's what he's talking about, maybe.
This bit right here?
John Claggett's thinking maybe possible clashed dye. Maybe that's what the guy's getting at.
Well, there'd be a crater up here, but clashes usually occur at the field. You wouldn't clash something as deep in as the top of Ike's head. If it's a clash, you're looking for it right at the field, and probably where the field meets the profile here. Let's see if we can get more photos. There were several photos. Well, I was able to get 2 out of there. All right, what do we got that we can pick out for sure here? And
I'm just not seeing anything out of the ordinary.
There's nothing. It's just details 72 like.
Check up above the head, right next to the T.
I've got corrosion spots. We've got what appears to be polishing marks, a contact mark.
Huh,
I don't see any outlines of raised metal.
I have a little bit different picture.
All I've got is the 2 that we're able to load.
Yeah, I think you're right. A little corrosion.
And some doo-doo or something in here. I don't find anything out of the ordinary otherwise. You can check the side and see if it's silver, but if it's corroding, I doubt it would be silver. This is probably copper and nickel. I don't know. At 72S, did they make black Ikes in 72? Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 72 would have them. Nothing I can do with that.
Yeah, I got the next one. Let me pop it up there. He also sent the next set. The question is, play with hair upside down. You'll see the earth on the top of his head. As you go up towards the ear, you'll see the craters and feathers. This is another one different from the first.
Can't clash that far in. I'm gonna play with the Play-Doh. Okay, what makes a clash die? Let's make some space. Okay, you got an obverse die, and you got a reverse die, right? And the idea is you put a planchet in the middle, you jam them together, you make a big planchet sandwich, and that's your coin. Well, every now and then these things get to, I mean, they're going nuts over here, right? They go real quick. Every now and then the planchet doesn't get through, or it goes all the way through, or for whatever reason, the dies come together with no planchet in between. Now, here's the key indicators to look for, right? These dies, they're flat. All the design, which would be raised on the coin, is sunk into the die on both sides, right? So when I clash them, sometimes I'll leave part of that design on this die or the other way around. But it's only going to be the outline because I'm taking this piece and squeezing it hard into that one. So it's just going to be the outlines. But I can't possibly, no matter how hard I try, make the design from inside the C show up over here inside the L. Okay, here's one die. Here's another. We got the white die. Your details, the head, for example, it's deep in there. It's deep, right? Over here on this other one, you got craters. You got an eagle on there, right? Effectively, what I have are two shells coming together, and I cannot clash the inside of this piece to the inside of that piece because there's a great distance in between them. The only thing I can clash are the fields because they're flush. It's the only thing I can clash. Now I can get a little bit in there, right? Maybe where the detail is light. Otherwise, if you're looking for clash marks, you're looking for it at the field level, and that's about it. You can't reach. It can't happen. Play-Doh time. That's right.
Ken, I think you've got the Fugio sent.
Man, I've been trying to look at that in between stuff. Who sent that in? Was it
Hidden?
Hidden sends us one of the most. This is my bucket coin. Is a Fugio set. Check this out. Let's see if I got it up here. I got 37 things up here. Let me clean up my screen for just a minute. Okay, what's this? Multiple strikes that can go.
Mind your business.
Yeah. Get that out of here. There's Van World. Oh, that's from like 2 hours ago. Here's an 1880. Okay, that can go. That moved. There you go.
This segment of Watch Ken close the screens on his computer is brought to you by Corn Nuts.
It's brought to you by, you ready? Where is it?
Oh boy, here we go. Susan B.
Anthony.
Susan B. Anthony, pitted prunes. And when you're done with Susan B. and her prunes, reach for risers because they're #1 in the #2 business. That's right.
That's a good man. That's a good pitch.
Here's the screen. This is a Fugio set, 1787. These were produced colonially, well, by the colonies because they weren't quite a union yet. And the design is done by none other than, what's his name? Ben Franklin came up with the idea for the whole thing, or at least the, this isn't loading. Come on, stop. Okay,
Ken,
he wanted the time and he wanted.
You want to make yourself a little bigger? So I can see what you're pointing at.
Oh, wait.
Jeffrey, what are we going to do without you, son?
It's this button.
You
Have
can't
some peace
leave.
and quiet.
What happened?
Oh my God.
Weird.
The OBS tunnel.
There it is. This is a Fugio set. A bunch were made. We don't know exactly how many. You're looking at a few dozen to a few hundred surviving specimens. I'd have to look that up. But here we go. You got all kinds of different designs, all kinds of varieties. And they're small. They're minor. You're looking at these little stars here, the cinquefoils, right? You're looking at the clubs for the rays coming out in different shapes. You're looking to see over here where it says United States. That'll be like upside one on one side, one on the other. But it was asking at one point, which one do you think it is? Here's a list of the Fugio sets on the PCGS site, and you've got States United with cinquefoils on the label. You got the American Congress. There's 3 of those known, one more rumored. You got the cross after the date. There's a cross after the date. Where the heck's the date? Where's the date? Oh, here it is. It's over here on the right. And this one being shown has a cinquefoil, which is like a flower. Okay, so he's going through and says, which one do you think it is? And
We'd be here all night trying to figure it out.
You'll be a while. You're going to need some study for that. I'm going to have to pull that up. And what's his name? Hidden? There it is. Let me look at his penny. Because it's a peach, dude. First off, let's open that in a new window. If I can do that. There's a way. There you go. So here you got this coin that Hidden sent in. Mind your business, right? You got the timepiece, and you got this. So the first thing I'm going to come up with is say that it's the club rays, and these come out. They get kind of fat. And they're rounded on the ends. Then you have them their incus on the end, which is kind of neat. And the only way to tell is go through each and every variety and compare what you have to what you see. My first idea was that it would be the club rays with rounded ends. And I'm going to look at that real quick because it's a more common piece. Where are you? But it does not seem to match. I need more of these clubs. So it's not that one. So
I gotta say that is one hell of an example right there. That's
gorgeous. Yeah, that's my bucket lister. The time it would take to correctly identify this is more than we have today. You could spend several days to get it down right, and I think some of the key diagnostics would be these bits of looks like raised metal here, and in here. This is going to be your go-to. That's what's going to tell me what it is.
Ken, can you share the link to that website where you're looking those varieties up?
Sure.
Just
PTGS is what it's called. I'll put it over here in the chat.
Yeah, just type in PCGS video set. It'll pull it up. You'll get pulled up the coin facts, and just go through and compare.
One at a time, and you're going through a pretty extensive list, right? Now you also have restrikes. The New Haven restrikes are done in copper. Not so many of those, but they're usually in better shape. And these are just delightful coins, really. You're looking for the 1787 States United with 4 cinquefoils, the one over the horizontal one. The cinquefoils on the label, right? Have you got cinquefoils in here? The 8-pointed star on the label. You got an 8-pointed star? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's a 5-pointed star. I can't see what that one is. But I suspected club rays. How about Fusio, where the G was broken? And that would be over here. No, it doesn't have the Fusio. That's a good clear G. Concave ends. United States.
Yeah, even in beat up condition, these go for decent money.
Yeah, this is a couple $100, real easy. I wouldn't mind picking one up. Man, that would be splendid to put in the big show. Really, I'd like that. One of your more common ones would be club ray rounded ends, which is 904 here. And how much you looking for in lower grades? You know, hundreds. What do you got here? In good, you're looking at 300, 400, 500 in low grades. Yeah, keep an eye out for them. Sometimes you can pick them up for a pretty good song. And on those, it comes all down to identification. And if you can get the variety right, which die to attribute it to, that's going to make all the difference. And is that coin more valuable or crazy valuable? Those are just sweethearts.
Hidden, I have confidence in it that you can match it to the right one.
That's Hidden's. That's his coin, and he's proud to have it. Hidden got some interesting stuff, I tell you. Don't underestimate the Hidden numismatist. Yeah, that's a peach. Man, oh man. Do you need a kidney or anything? Because I got a spare. We could trade. No? Let me know. If you ever do, I'm right here, okay? Bring the coin. We'll do it right here in the living room. I got a good sharp kitchen knife and a bucket and some ice. But I'm serious.
I have never can be so serious about a topic in my life.
All right.
Stop calling it early.
I got the next one is Coin Junkie AG Says, hi guys, I hope everyone is having a great Thursday. For this week, I'd like to lay off the pennies and switch over to half dollars. Here I have a 42 Walker DDR and a 64 Kennedy TDO, and would like to know if you agree if the conditions of the coins are not too far gone to hold any additional value for the heirs. Awesome. So this first one, 1942. Doubled die reverse. There's the front and a nice picture of that. It does have considerable wear. And lo and behold, look at the notches on the L's.
100% double die.
Look at the A. Look at the
Look
top
at
of
the
the A.
A. Look at the extra thickness here.
And listen to the excitement in everyone's voice.
Yay!
I want to back up for a second here. I heard error. This is not an error. This is a variety. A big difference between the two.
You beat me to it.
Variety. Not an error.
Variety.
A doubled die is a variety. It's a change, either intentional or unintentional, to the design on the die. An error is, oops, something went wrong during production. You got a screwed up planchet, right? You jammed it in there and clipped it. You struck it repeatedly. You got a saddle strike. That's an error. Errors are unique. This coin was struck with a die that was hubbed twice or hubbed repeatedly. It's a doubled die. And every coin produced by this, they're all produced normally. It's a normal strike, and this is a design produced by that die. It is a variety. Error is unique. Variety is repeating. Value on this one. It's going to be directly related to the condition of the coin. But that one's pretty sharp and clear. You can identify it readily and positively. See the points inside the zero or inside the O? And the way the dot between $half looks like a jelly bean. This is what you look for on these double dies, and you can find them out there. The photos are good enough. You can pick these off of eBay. You can pick these off of some of these Facebook groups.
Very cool find, and good eye, by the way, because most people would miss this one.
Yeah, for sure. He also sent some 64s. I'm excited to show you too.
Yeah. Confrontational nonconformist says, how long until I learn 10% of what he knows? Have you got a year to put in?
Have you got 2 years to put in?
A year, 2, 3? How rapidly do you learn? How much time do you have to devote to study? And can you go through 50 boxes of coins and look at every darn one of them? Because that's how you learn, is experience and getting in there and just trying. Yeah, a lot of times the attempt is going to be enough to show you these varieties. That is a double die. You have a separation line in there. The top, the serif is split. And the metal, the extra metal, is raised and it has full relief. Then over here, it goes nuts over there. Points
in the O.
Separation lines, notches. Beautiful.
And TDO.
How many is that? 3?
4?
3.
It's the 3.
3, 4, whatever it takes, man.
It's a triple.
Yeah, that's a strong
Top
one.
of the E. Look at the E. Look at the E. Look at the S.
Doubled on we.
W.
Doubled on you. Let's take a look at the 4. That's always a good place to look. Yep, you got triple and 4.
Look how thick that is.
Yep.
Thickness on the back of that 4.
You've even got some on the initials.
That's almost as thick as Jeffrey's beard.
Oops.
No. You can't comb that coin out.
Look at that separation on the R.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The wider the separation, typically the higher the value of the variety. because, well, first off, they stand out. They're so much more noticeable. And these more extreme doubled dies tend to command a higher premium.
With the separation so strong on the R, but not quite as strong up at the top of the coin, would this be an offset doubled die, like a offset hub doubled?
I think there's a couple of things going on.
I'd have to I want to look at the designation on the attribution and see the whole darn coin and go from there.
Yeah,
There are different ways a die can be doubled, right? You can squeeze the hub into the die, retract it, and then nudge it a bit. You can rotate it a bit. You can take the die, put it into a annealing oven to soften it up and bring it back, and it hasn't cooled off and shrunk down to regular size. And there's different directions of doubling. You can hub it with a small date, right? Put it in the annealing oven, bring it back, hub it again, but this time with a large date. Would be the 1970 S, large over small date that Paula was talking about earlier. There's a picture of
How about Jay Painter finding those 1960s?
the large over small dates.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, those are few and far between.
he found 2 of them.
He's a machine. He is.
so the other way you're going to want to reduce this down, because there's a whole bunch of 1964D doubled dies. So one way to do that is to look at this. You've got a flare G. See the knuckle on the top of the G? You wouldn't be able, there's a straight G that doesn't have that knuckle. So just by knowing this little piece of information, you've reduced the number of varieties to search for, just by knowing that this is a flare G, and you got a 1964 D mint mark. All right. And then, at that point, it is a business strike. So now you can go look at Denver business strike, doubled dies, tripled dies, and there are a number of them. I think, let's see, 1964 D, flare G. There are 26 different varieties. Now, seven of those are RPMs, so we're not on RPM. So we got 19 different varieties that are, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, so 3 reverse varieties. Yeah, 19. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Most of these are class 2. There are some class 5s.
I'm looking for one with just doubling on E and Liberty, but there's probably more like on, is it on BER? Is it on TY? Is it on ERTY? I guess I don't have enough close-ups to look at all those letters to tell you. Then there's some where the date, the initials, and the hair at the top of the head. And then there's also, you're going to want to take a look at some of the different stages and die gouges and scratches to help you further identify and attribute that. So
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
we could, typically it takes me 30 minutes to an hour to narrow in one of these to figure out exactly which variety we're talking about. So, but it's a beautiful coin, nice find. Way to go, Coin Junkie AG.
So before we move on, I just want to touch on something you just said, Shay. One coin you're trying to attribute and you're spending an hour on it. So when people wonder, how much time and energy it takes to learn this stuff and understand it, just think about that right there.
Yeah.
And how many coins do you do that with? So it's unfathomable how much time most of us spend examining these coins. It really is.
Coins, and they send a $5 bill with it to be attributed. and I take their $5 bill, and I'm really happy for that. And sometimes it takes me 3 hours to get it.
Yeah, I have spent hours.
But we are going to spend it until we get it. If I just can't get it, here's your $5 back. I give up.
Look at that.
Here's your $5.
Hair
that's
back of the head.
isn't it?
You have doubling on the hair of the back of the head. This is good. Another key indicator. But yeah, when you're attributing and you're going to put a label with an attribution, you don't. I mean that's as long as that piece of paper and that coin stay together, and with your name on it, and you better be right. You know, I am 100% certain that I have probably a couple of coins out there that it was a DDO 007, not a DDO 009, but it was so close, you know. Sometimes condition, you just have to make the call because you can't see all the pickup points. You can just make out a couple. So it's tough, man, you know, but if you're going to do it, you gotta figure it out and spend the time until you get it right. All right. If not, put your guesses on a piece of paper, put it away, and come back and visit it later. I feel that helps sometimes. I go, I'll revisit a coin after spending hours on it, couldn't figure it out. I come back and I'm like, oh, well, it's obvious. Or I'll come back and what was I thinking? You know,
the thing that happens is sometimes the data, the information to help you attribute it is not yet available. Maybe you don't have the book, or maybe it's online, but the web page or the database is not yet updated. That's what I'm encountering a lot of, but we're working on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it has not been discovered yet.
Or it's a new discovery.
That's
Sure.
true.
And that happens on occasion.
Yep. All right. So nothing like a Kennedy to get me pumping. Thank you, Coin Junkie AG.
If I had to send you in the right direction, I would probably send you after SDDO number 8, which is also Konica number 8. I'd send you there first.
Okay, the next one.
6.
The next one is sort of an impromptu discussion. Okay, and I do want to bring this up. It was from Hoogie. I don't know if any of y'all read the email we got. You might want to go take a look. Let me go ahead and let you see me so I can talk about this. Hoogie.
His always comes in really tiny text. I don't understand why.
So Hoogie says, I have a valuable collection and I do continue to add to it, but more and more, I just don't have the fascination. I sure as heck don't want to make videos. I believe the hobby's harming my family and spiritual life. I'll spare you all the details, but that's where I'm at. Now, look, I want to tell you a couple of things. There have been times, even as eager as I seem, as much as I have passion for coins, there have been times when I just can't do it. Right? All right? We all do it. We all go through burnout. When you spend 6 weeks every spare hour looking at coins, eventually you're going to burn out. Give yourself some time. Come back to the hobby. Now, here's my secret. When I'm feeling that way, I bust out the pennies. And then it takes 10 minutes and I'm feeling that way again, I bust out the quarters. Oftentimes just changing the coin you're looking at and making it different and new can kickstart everything and all those feelings why you got into it in the first place. But if it's somehow messing with you and your family and the way you live, then give it a break. Coins are not going anywhere. Coins are going to be here. That's what's great about the hobby. You can put your books away. You can put them in the safe. You can put them in the bank deposit box, and they're going to be there when you come back and decide to do it again. But I definitely think give yourself time, get rest, try some other coins if you're focused on one, because sometimes that really shakes things up for you and gets you excited again. I know I've worn out the Kennedy series. I've literally got 700 different designs, varieties, DDOs, RPMs, clashes, and all those things. I've identified them. I've looked at pictures. I'm still tracking. I'm still looking for the real thing, the whole. But I had to get into something else. I had to start doing quarters. I had to start doing pennies more, just because it wears on you after a while. One design. Anybody else have anything to add?
Yeah, man, I got to the point about 3 months ago. I just couldn't stand it anymore. I mean, every other post that I look at, the guy says, "What's this? What's it worth? And where's the machine and a machine I put in to get my money?" Or people put up a question. They give you a blurry photo of this. Is this a double dyed coin or some? Oh gosh, what? Or they give you a coin and say, "Is this large or small date?" And it's a nickel from 1985. Not, dude, just walk away. It's okay. Look, we love you. We'll always be here for you, right? But if you want to go, where'd you go? We lost Jeff.
Jeffrey.
You want to take a break, spend some time with your family? Well, I can't blame you for that, man. I don't think I can compete with that. Jeez, how do you compete with a 3-year-old, huh? Well, go do your thing, whatever your thing is. If you want to get back into coins, it'll be here for you. I guarantee that. Maybe some of the people on the panel will change here and there, but there's always going to be a coin community out here for you. It's here for you. You know, you don't have to be here for us. Although we don't mind having you around.
You don't have to do videos. Look, Hoogie, you have earned a very special place in all of our hearts and minds. We love your knowledge on Morgan dollars and the fact that you've shared so much with us. And we'll always be here for you if you ever need anything. So I know anytime, man.
Yep, and don't forget to try those cranberries. It's good for urinary tract issues. Yeah. Maybe that's what you need. Yeah. Oh, there's Jeff. He got back. Yeah, everybody needs a break from whatever it is. If you're doing it 24, we stay up all night thinking stuff up about this coin thing. Believe me, we are out of our minds.
You don't even know.
Watch some reruns of Sanford and Son. You'll be fine in a couple of days.
I've had a couple instances where I just needed to take a step away. A while back, I had a large tree hit my house and pretty much destroy my house, and we were displaced for about 6 months or even longer. And during that time, I didn't do a whole lot with coins, and actually, I missed it, but it was a nice little break too. I still kept picking stuff up because I kept coming across stuff and adding stuff, but I would just put it in a box knowing that I would have to go through it once I got back in my house. There were times my wife got mad at me because I would stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning looking at coins under a microscope, and she'd yell at me, "Why are you playing with your coins? You should be playing with me."
This is a family channel.
Mine wants to make a dress of pennies, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, we all get there, man. And at the end of the day, you just got to turn around, walk away from it for a little while, and just give it a break. And that goes with anything you do, man, not just coins. Anything you do. Summertime months, get out there, go fishing, go metal detecting, get outside and get some sun. Save your coin collecting hobby for the wintertime months when there's not much to do but shovel snow. I don't know where you live, but just don't give up on it unless you want to. But, there's another option for you. It's not for everybody. And then, guys like me and Ken and Jeffrey and Shay, we're so deep into the hobby. We're into the varieties and errors. That is definitely not for everyone.
I spent an hour today looking at a 1909 S mint mark.
Yeah. I mean, that's just not for everybody. It really isn't, you know, and people try. Some people will never get it, and some people just get it instantly. Not everybody's born an airline pilot. Not everybody's born to be a doctor. You know, the same standard applies for this hobby. Not everybody's meant to be a coin collector, and definitely not everybody's meant to be a variety and error collector. So just keep that in mind.
I'll hop into this. You know, if coin collecting is getting in the way of your personal life, just like any other addiction, and I'm being completely honest, you need to step away. What I'm advising against is you don't want to jump the gun and get rid of all your coins, because what's going to happen is you're going to regret it down the line. Take a break. You know, I've you know, in the past 2 years, I've taken breaks. You know, I've you know, while being at school, being busy, I just disappeared off the earth. I mean, you guys, all the guys that know me well here, at least, know that. You know, I just disappeared for a while, just being busy with school. So take a step back, take a breather, and come back to it in a little bit. And if it's still something that just doesn't tickle your fancy anymore, that's when you'd want to pursue maybe moving on away from it. But just absolutely take a break. All of us take breaks. You know, Ken likes to sleep in a lot. You know, maybe he just doesn't feel like looking at coins today.
I'm gonna play drugs.
I don't know if going live at 4 a.m. means he's sleeping in or not, but we get crazy hours.
You'll see addictive behavior in this hobby. People will stay up for days at a time looking at pennies with a high-powered microscope, right? I mean, their hair grows, they start to sweat and smell, and there's like all this, you know, burrito wrappers, just a pile of them over here. You wear through your chair. I have taken the tile off the floor with this chair.
Wear through your chair.
There's a seal.
Ken, hold on 1 second, man. I gotta tell you this. You said you went about wearing the floor through, right? This is no word of a lie. Now, I just had my house remodeled because of that tree. Part of the remodel was also in my basement. We decided to put like a linoleum type thing down here. It looks like hardwood floor, but it's really nice stuff. I kind of got in trouble because I wore through it with my desk chair. It's brand new. Yep, I got it all ripped up.
Take your wife out to dinner, and while you're dining, and then take her dancing. But while you're out there, get the floor replaced. And give her some cash.
It's a big floor, man.
And buy a new car for her.
I'm gonna have to put a patch in there.
I had this friend that had a little wiener dog, and it would run around the yard in the same path every day. And after like 3 years, there was worn little paths all through the Augustine grass everywhere he went, every day, every time. Sorry,
Oh,
Ken and the wiener dog running around the yard.
yeah, it's bad because you can tell where the boxes of coins have sat on my carpet underneath of the coin desk. There's just impressions of boxes. And like the rest of the carpet's good, but the carpet around the coin desk, forget about it.
Guys, you realize serious issues. Seriously.
Yeah, they got a name for it. It's in the DSM.
What are you
It's in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Nut Job Cases or something like that. Yeah, there's a name for us. I'm not sure what it is.
I can't, Hoogie, and I can't. You know, part of why I haven't done very many live streams is because I have other things I needed to focus on in my life. Yeah, they have to do with the hobby, but and preparation for the future. But it got so 3-4 live streams every week, sometimes 7 or 8 hours each live stream. And all the other stuff to prepare for those streams and ship after those streams, it can really take a toll on you. All right, especially when your heart is set on doing something you know has to be done and you don't have time to do it. So what do? You figure out how to make time for it, and that will help your soul at any time. Do what you want, do what you love, and that heals. So anyway,
I'm actually looking to get deeper into this. I'm working on some project with Shay that are gonna take what time I have now and just it's like laser, like coin laser. It's nuts. Wait for it. But look, it doesn't matter what you're into. If it's woodwork, my father would be in the basement doing woodwork all day. I mean, get up in the morning, get some coffee, go down to the basement. I think he didn't like my mother. That might be part of it. But he'd be there all day. At the end of the day, you go down, say, hey, man, your stover spot's by, been on the stove for 10 hours. And there's this, magnificent hutch or something. And then he would take a break from it and not make a thing for 2 years. Just do your thing. The coins, if they want you back, they'll call you. Right? Go have some fun. Spend some time with the missus. I'm sure she misses you. Make a cake. Do that thing with the clay. You make the clay pot. Yeah, Demi Moore and Swayze did that. Try that out. It's fun. But ain't nobody gonna think any less of you because you have a life to live. I wish I had a life.
Yeah, I mean, just like me with having a big boy job, I just gotta do it. I gotta switch things up, or I'll be living on the street.
You don't want to, do you?
No, I don't want to. Hell no, I don't want to, but I have to. Otherwise, I'll be living on the street in a damn hutch made out of pennies.
Van down by the river. I gotta go.
No. I'll be living on the street with a hutch made of pennies. That's what's going to happen. So I got to do what I got to do.
You could always go down to the art center and make one of those clay pots with somebody and put your pennies in there.
Art says, I stopped looking at coins only to concentrate on my other hobby, sleep.
Oh, sleep.
So have you guys ever heard of Cortez?
The guy on the Panama Balboa?
Yeah.
Balboa.
Yeah. So, he's sent here by Spain, sent to the Americas for riches and whatnot, and he gets there and he the troops are like, we're outnumbered. I don't know if this is the right place to be, and they want to go home and all these other things, and he sends his best trusted guys out and he burns the boats. And you know what Cortez does? He goes and conquers pretty much all of the Americas. And it just goes to show you when your back's up against the wall and you have nothing to lose, you will fight for every bit of what you can get. And so, Jeffrey, I know that sometimes the way we have times where things get hard, and just remember that if you have no options, you can only go forward. So I don't know if that helps, but
no, I'm not worried about anything. It's just you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Coins offers a great opportunity. It really does. Hoogie, if you should change your mind and come back to the hobby, they will still be there, and they'll probably be more valuable. That's wonderful. Jeff's going to get into the real world, take a real job, knowing full well that these coins are going to call him right on back.
I never left Ken. I never left the coins. The coin time's still allocated.
Still here.
Don't worry about that.
That's
just a time frame shifted from working in the evening and doing coins in the morning. Like I used to stay up till 4 o'clock doing coins. Can't do that too much anymore. We're going to shift that to the morning schedule.
Oh, see, Jeffrey, that's where you're wrong, buddy. Because I worked second shift for many years, and guess what? I had a lot of peace and quiet time with my coins.
Yeah, there's breaks. You have 15 minutes. That's like 2 rolls.
Oh, my hands were on the keyboard the entire shift. I can't stop. Like I'm in Cubeville. I got eyeballs on me. Oh my God. I wish I could just sit there and look at coins all shift. That would be awesome.
I have been driving down the road, right?
Uh-huh.
I got one hand on the wheel, but the other hand, I pick up a penny, look at it real quick, decide if it's a keeper, either throw it on the ground and put it in my pocket. Correct. Get back on the road, grab another penny, look at it real quick. Oh, drive around. Keep that one.
It's funny.
There's
Funny you said that, Ken, because I was doing something similar on my way home today. I had to withdraw some money from the ATM, and I don't just collect coins; I also collect fancy serial numbers, right? So there I am with a stack of 20s, looking through them as I'm driving. I had to correct a few times.
Chris goes to the ATM machine. There's a lady in front of him in line. He's waiting for her, and when she's done, he says, "Can I look at those?"
I'm peeking over her shoulder as she's getting them out.
Can I see those bills? Yeah.
I think I scared a child the other day at the bank when I was like, I had a bucket. I carried buckets into the bank, and I dumped the change in, and they walk in right after me, and I'm turning around, I'm looking at them like, I'm going to be a few minutes. You might want to come back later. Anyway, they sit there and say, no, it's fine. We'll wait. And so I go through my $1,000 worth of quarters and $50, and I get done, and I'm going to walk up to the counter and give him my ticket. And this kid, I've been eyeing this kid's coins in a Ziploc, and I'm like, how can I ask this kid, can I have your pennies?
I think there's some $50 for that kid. Count them up right here. Count them.
Come up with a, like, do I hit on the mom? Do I, what do I do?
Whoa.
You are treading in murky water.
See what lengths you go through when you're a
No, we're like crackheads crawling around the floor looking for that last little bit.
And CJ's like, walk away, Shay, walk away.
Walk away. Just
and kind of I just want to bounce in and make a comment. Coins just isn't about the coins. Us and YouTube, coin community, we've made some very, very lasting friendships and the people we've met along the way. I'll get a little cliche with that one, but all of us have gotten really close. So don't quit that. If you want to quit coins, don't quit talking to the people that are around.
Seduces mom for $50. I got a for your pennies.
I gotta ask you, how many of you guys take shit out of the? Oh, sorry. Take stuff out of the have a penny, leave a penny tray.
never.
All the time.
Oh yeah.
I carry pennies in the little pocket in my jeans just so I can put them in place of those pennies.
I don't leave the house often enough to get to the store to see that penny box. So I just stay right here. I got enough change under the table, for Christ's sake. Keep me busy for 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I walk around with my head down all the time because I'm looking for. This is all the money I find laying on the ground. I'm always walking around with my head down.
Yeah, is it bad that I rate to take a penny and leave a penny at the post office? That's why I find the good stuff at the post office one.
So I'm going to tell you a little story. I went to Houston. I went to the coin show, and before I went to the coin show, I wanted to get a drink, so I go into the convenience store. Every convenience store has one of those, and the guy spots me fingering through the pennies, just looking at them. Move them over. I want to look at the date. I flip it over. He goes, I think you're looking for these. And he pulls up a bag of wheats.
How much?
I'll sell you these for $1. I'm like, all right. So I bought the bag of wheats from $1, but it was, still, it was fun. He totally knew what I was doing. I'm like, that's a coin hobbyist right there. And boy, does he have a cool job to come across money, right?
He's hustling us.
So I go to a couple of convenience stores on a regular basis. Adriana loves the Frappuccinos, so I'm always looking for like two for deals and stuff. But there was one up the street that I've taught how to find star notes, how to find fancy serial numbers. He's looking for W quarters, and he's just holding them for me. Puts them in a box, and whenever I go in, I buy them from him. So,
1992, I had a part-time job in a convenience store late at night. Well, the dollar bills were in a safe, and I could get, like $25 at a time out if I needed them. But the coins, now they were right here in a box on a shelf. So I'd go in, I'd take some of these with me. Because, geez, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I sweep them off the floor, I'm done. Right? I could wipe the window on the door, and I'm done. Otherwise, I'm spending the rest of the night looking through rolls of pennies. That was a great job.
How many of you guys find yourselves like peeking in the register drawer, like, "Hey, what do you got in there?" I've seen wartime nickels. I'm like, excuse me, can I change this nickel for that old looking one there? I like the old ones.
Are there any shiny ones in there?
So the real question is, how much BS have we told some of these places about why we want the coins?
Oh yeah,
a lot.
I don't care.
The stories. Yeah, my nephews are in town, and we're going to play poker. All right, that's an easy one. And that's pretty effective. When you talk about the kids, oh, it's for the kids. Here you go.
See, we are just like drug addicts. I'm telling you.
I've made up some stories.
Anything to get our fix. It's okay.
I've gone to banks that won't sell coins because I'm not. I don't have an account with them, right? And I make up this elaborate story. Oh, you ever see those tables that they cover in pennies and they coat them with shellac? Yeah, I got this project I'm working on.
I did that one. Hard hat. Hard hat.
Works every time.
Store.
Really cool. Yeah, I can wear it.
See, in a bank with a hard hat saying, "I need a box of pennies because we're building a bar," and it worked.
That stuff works.
But that was part of my job. I wore a hard hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's nut jobs out there. If you think you're becoming one, well, welcome to the club, is all I got to say. Look, if you're getting too far into the hobby that's making you uncomfortable, just go have some fun. Have a barbecue, do your thing, watch a movie, spend some time with the family, the kids. Go on a trip. Do all those things you've always promised to do, but spend so much time looking through coin rolls you couldn't do it. Life's too short to get, crazy, and unless it's your thing. It happens to be my thing, so I'm okay with it. Dude, nobody says you have to do this. If you decide not to get out, you want to get out of it, you already know what the stuff is worth. You already know you got some value there. You could finance your next hobby, like say an RV or a cabin by the lake. That'd be pretty slick. Man, wouldn't that be a great place to search coins? Be nice and quiet. I need a table of light. Yeah.
Big old fire. You get one of those fireplaces that's like 6 feet tall by 8 feet long, and
if the power goes out, you can still see the coins.
Listen to what you just said, Ken. You want to use your hobby to finance something else. So, like, basically, you want to sell your coins to buy a cabin by the lake so you can search more coins.
Yeah,
but at the lake, you see. I'm going to sell the house to get a coin bus.
Mm-hmm.
So I could drive around the country searching for coins.
We got 5 years left, and then we're there.
Yeah. Sell it, get the camper.
We're committed.
I'm not doing a camper. I'm doing a tiny home.
Tiny home on wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny home.
Yeah.
Then you need a really big truck too.
Yeah. You gotta have the big vehicle, right? Like the RV. Then it's really handy to have a chase vehicle, like say an SUV and a cargo trailer behind that.
Yeah.
So you can have like
all the seats.
Tiny home and a motorcycle.
And you'd be living in a van down by the river.
And a couple bikes.
Tiny home, motorcycle. That's all I want.
This is my wife, Adriana, everybody.
Hi, guys.
The other half of the man.
Shay, so the real question is, if you guys get that tiny home, how are you going to pull the gooseneck coin trailer then?
Because you'll need a fleet of cargo trailers just to all the coins.
Where are you going to go with your 700 varieties of Kennedys alone?
Huh? They're going to be built in. I'm going to have built-in shelves.
That's the way.
The thing is going to be decked up.
Road
And
trade.
we'll be able to get in. Yeah. Don't tell
Hey,
me what we're
Shay, just build a tiny home out of coins. You'll be perfect.
At least that's what you're going to tell the bank when you go to get your next couple boxes.
I got a sidecar and a tiny home. That's nice. Oh, I guess we better get back to some of the coins, huh?
Yeah. I'll let you get. I'm gonna go have some pie.
Riser sent in a photo, and he here. Let me put it up here real quick. So, well, he's kind of spilled the beans already.
Oh,
But he passed this
Beans?
up in a
Beans
coin
already.
shop that was for sale for $200, and he wants to know if he did the right thing or not.
200 AU50. Oh yeah,
That's beautiful, flying eagle.
I'm looking at the O. I'm looking at the A. I'm looking at the U and N. I'm looking at the I. CJ taught me everything I know.
so what is it? A 57 and a AU what?
58.
Sharp. Just a touch of luster and a couple of the
Gray
spines.
sheet. Gray sheet's 350 on it. So
Yeah. Well, that's a steal. You can use that knowledge quite often to find coins that are undervalued, that are underpriced, and pick them up for a real good price. And geez, what do you know? Now you get an extra $100 to buy that cabin on the lake where you can search coins.
You know, I'm a little disappointed. I got one of those Flying Eagle Snow 9s at the last coin show I was at. And I can't find an interested buyer, so I guess I'm keeping that one. So I guess I'm not really just. What's that?
A Snow 9, you say?
Yes. That's the Clash with the seated $50.
Yeah.
Yep, but I guess I'm keeping that one, so it's a win-win.
What do you mean? You've been kicking yourself. You did not buy it for 200? Go back and see if I got it.
oh,
still.
I didn't buy it.
He
Oh,
did not buy it. Yeah.
Oh,
You get the address?
hurts me in the feels. Where's it at? I'll go get it right
The
now.
phone number on that.
Good night, Amy.
Free money.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
No,
I've been.
Yeah, Amy.
Yeah, I've been slowly hoarding snow varieties for Flying Eagles. Snow 2s. I just actually bought another Snow 2 from CJ last night. I'm going to hoard them until I'm like 86, and then I should have most of them by then.
You looking for a Snow 9?
Depends on the price.
$40, I think I have it listed at.
I'll go look.
I've been hoarding pre-1940 RPMs lately. This one's really neat. Not only is it an RPM, but it's a clash. So on the back of the coin, you'll see the RPM clashed right below the M. Try that one out. That's one of the key diagnostics for this one. Yeah, we're sick with this.
I don't think I'm sick at all.
I don't feel tardy.
All right. That coin that we got from D. Reese earlier was a Kennedy $50 with this what looked like PMD. And so if I take that coin and I flip it top to bottom and I take a look, this is going to be down in this area.
Around 7 o'clock.
So I'm looking down here at around 7 o'clock.
I see no distortion, no damage, no flat spots, no scratches, no scuffs, no drain, no drips, no drains. That's
Ding, 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 ding.
that this half of the coin was minted properly in the die. And that had to be done before the coin was ejected, or it would have left some marks on the back. So that would be a struck through error.
Cool.
See, that's an error. That's unique.
Yep.
There might be another one if that piece, if that bit stayed in between the dies, but it was probably ejected along with the coin. The trick is to go hunt down that little piece.
Yeah. A pencil lead? No, it's bigger than that.
Yeah, and that's probably good for a couple of bucks.
Just kidding. That's cool. Very cool. Thanks for following up with that, D-Reese. All right.
Nice one.
I'm addicted to coffee, so I'll be right back.
And then it looks like Linda farted. Is that what that is?
I think that, like, it's a chicken,
Chicken fart.
an explosion. It exploded.
All right. The next one was also sent in by D. Reese. This one says, let's see. Oh, wait. Is this D. Reese? Yes. All right. I opened a roll of 1978 Ds and came across these 5 coins. Appears to be progressive, but what the heck is it? 1978 D. Let's take a look at what these look like. Oh.
That rim fin?
Yeah, I want to look at the edge. It looks like a damaged collar. That looks like metal's been shoved up, but it's all the same. Well, a damaged collar would do that.
How about a collar clash, possibly?
Yeah, I was going to say, are those letters or?
Yeah, there's a neat one, because if it's letters, that is a particular error. Look at the, okay, zoom in. Okay, the M, 1, 2, 3, third M over. Above the M, that long one. And then look at that next anomaly, looks rounded. And the next anomaly looks like a pair of roundeds.
Well, these two go with these two, with these, right? These three.
Okay. And this would be in the rim trench.
Definitely interesting there.
Okay, I need a better shot of that.
There is a pattern.
Something up real quick. I can't spell.
This is something I haven't seen before.
No, there's a
So
name.
it looks like it's actually indented on the coin, right? Is that what you guys are seing? Sometimes it's hard to tell on
Yeah.
pictures, but
Yes.
The light looks like it's coming from, well, it's going this way. And so you have shadow on this side.
yeah. So just because the shadow's there, that means that it's definitely indented on the coin.
Yes.
So that would mean it's raised on the collar, or something was in the collar, right?
Yes.
Although I'm not sure about the light choice I selected there, because I see light on the top's edge of these R and the I and the C. It's almost like it's coming from.
Yeah, you're right there, Shay. So it's coming from the top right. And that would mean the shadow is on the back side of it, which would then indicate that those marks are raised, which would make more sense to me, because that would mean it's then indented on the collar. So it could be some sort of damage or possibly a collar clash.
Yeah, it's possible that something was sticking in the striking chamber, like CJ was saying.
I'm not finding what I'm looking for.
Where the heck's Mike Diamond when you need him?
Yeah. You hold those aside. They're special.
Yeah, I don't know what to call these. I don't know the cause of these, but they're definitely intriguing and worth further study.
Shay, can you go back to that picture that shows them a little more zoomed out with the more natural color to them? Keep going. No. What the heck? No. It's the only one you didn't click on yet, I think.
I think that's
there.
it.
No, what the heck?
Yeah, that's it. I had 8 pictures.
Can you please click through them again? Because I know I saw a picture where they were.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Maybe it's that one. Maybe it's the one back one.
I was zoomed in like that, but
Go back one.
Right there.
So it's so hard to tell from pictures. Sometimes I can't tell if it's raised or indented. Because now I'm seeing the light differently. But as Ken said, definitely put this one aside. Oh, so it's indented according to D. Reese. Oh boy. So that means something different. That would follow along the lines of something being in the striking chamber. It's odd, that pattern though. The pattern doesn't change. It's the same in all of the coins.
Paula's thinking the roll was damaged.
I don't really see any damage on the actual edge of the coins though.
Yeah, that's.
Did you guys see any?
Shay, you want to click back to that edge view of all of them?
I'm not really seeing anything there that would match what we're seeing on the rim. Different.
I've seen this on Araref.
It's very similar to that collar clash that who the heck found that? Was it Amy? Amy Antone? But it was on the flat field of the coin.
Okay, I'm going to have to get back to that. I'm not finding it right off. There is a type of error that would leave marks, which are the designs, in particular the letters, on the rim, but I got to find out what it is.
What date are those?
78 D.
Doug Reese? D? Who's Doug? 78 D Lincolns. D Reese, okay. I'm going to keep hunting here.
Okay, I put that in my notes. We'll have to do a little bit of digging myself. Yeah, I don't know what the 78 D is. You know, it's something weird when all of us are quiet.
Yeah. Because everybody's thinking, I have seen something similar.
The Marvelous Diggins, send that picture to checkmycoin@yahoo.com. We'll try to take a look at it. Now that you've stumped the panel, D. Reese, very good, very good.
You beat us.
Beat the system.
You got 15 points.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm
Mark,
gonna
can you flag that in the email?
yeah.
Okay, CJ just posted a link there. And someone able to pull that up with CJ?
Rim restricted design duplication. That's, I think, what I was looking for. I'm not able to click on it right here.
Let me see.
Thanks. That's a lot of sodium. Appreciate it. Thank you for being here.
Paula just sent us a link too.
I can't.
Well,
I can't click on
this
it.
eliminates it because if you read what the description says, it says it always occurs on the face struck by the hammer die.
That. Yes, that.
It's very, very close, but I don't think it's quite the same.
Paula sent us something too. But that's raised though. I don't know.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and close these and go on to the next one. If you guys come up with something, let me know.
But
I'm citing on the rim restricted design duplication. But I haven't given up on the counter clash. Okay, mark it, flag it. We're gonna
It's flagged.
more for next week.
Yeah,
We got homework to do now.
yeah.
Damn it.
The next one is from John Claggett. He says obverse uniface with L on reverse. So that means coin had to flip to get struck with L in Liberty. Flip over double struck, he says.
Oh, they got those. Matter of fact, I just scrolled past it here. I'm gonna look under striking error. I'm on the error ref page over here.
can you go back one, Shay? Okay, now what is that letter? Is that the L? I'm not so sure that's an L.
I'm not either. That's a little bit of a weird place to be now.
That's too much. It's too much zoom, I think.
Yep, it's definitely not an L.
But there is a such thing as a flip over double and multi-struck coin. Most multi-struck show the same face struck repeatedly. Coins that flip over between strikes are rarer. And they've got a couple of examples here.
And this was struck out of color.
Yep.
The second strike was struck out of color.
I bet you this is what he's looking at.
Yeah, I can't make that call from those photos.
Yeah,
It may be just an indent.
Looks like a serif there.
Wow, that's some imagination, I think. I'm not able to pick that one out. We'd need better, sharper, clearer photos on that particular area.
Yeah, I cannot make that call with those photos. Just can't.
looks like Abe Lincoln blowing bubbles with gum. I can't see anything either.
Definitely a multi-strike. And beyond that, we just can't do anything with those photos. Just not enough there.
I see that letter there. in that last picture, and it's definitely not an L. It can't be.
The errors are trickier. So many things can go wrong. Double dyes are easy. And there's about 8, 9 different ways you can double a die.
Yeah, Wild Bills makes a very, very obvious point. Looks like that one's set up for a dose of zinc rot.
Oh, it's coming. Wait for it. Yeah, keep that in a clean, dry environment.
Is his neck floating?
Yep.
A little bit over.
Yeah, that's from polishing the die.
Now, guys, what did we not look for?
Wide AM.
Boom. What's
Oh,
wrong
yeah.
with it?
It's not.
Close.
No. Cool coin, though.
Yeah.
Yep. Look up indent on error ref. Let's see. I should be in the area here. We talked about those 3-4 weeks ago here.
All right. Next up is John Stanley. I'll get to it in just a second. Sorry, Jeff Stanley. Oh my gosh.
Well, at least tomorrow's Friday. That's always nice.
Yeah, I get to stay home all day and look at coins.
That's my weekends nowadays.
There you go.
All right, this one's taking I'm still downloading. It's 10 megabytes for Jeff.
Biggin.
He said,
Art Ring thinks he sees a D. Frank says or R. It could be a B as well.
"Oh boy, Jeff, I like this. Very cool. I can't wait to open this." All right, Jeff. Jeff's got a UFO. All right, let me.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yes, this is a UFO.
Circles.
Says, "I found
Circle.
this last night. Limited research suggests this may be a circular lathe mark in the upper left of the doorway on Monticello. I included a stock photo from a Coin World article. The mark on my coin is the same size but appears further south. The formation is extremely faint and was difficult to photograph. So let me show you the Coin World article picture. This is the Coin World article picture that we're looking at. And then this is the
Yeah, that was
I've got that same.
that was a big thing. That was a big thing
Yeah, let me get
when these surfaced.
on that one. Tiny circles, semicircles, and spirals.
Yep. I would lean against lathe lines or lathe marks because that should be centered if it were a lathe mark. So, Ken, you said it. I've seen that article: circles, semicircles, and spirals. Yeah.
The article's over there. Let me pull it up here. Let's see. Wait for it. Let's see. There's the screen. Okay, what you're looking at there, if I can find me, exit, and there you go. Here we go. Now, AeroRef has this great article on tiny circles, semicircles, and spirals. And you're going to get them and look at this image. It's almost identical to what you have. The cause of the imperfections is unknown. While some have compared them to concentric lathe marks, it's doubtful there is any connection. We've seen these. We see them around the statue on the back of the Lincoln. Here's one now.
Lincoln Center, that's another one, yeah.
I got a couple of those. Those are WUFO.
There you go. Also, compare the low leaf. That strikes me as being highly similar to this, but not quite as sharp. The low leaf on the Wisconsin quarter strikes me as being some kind of similar, but it's an incomplete circle and more like this one. They're out there.
Hit that thing.
What
Shay.
is it? You're keeping that, baby, and you're going to keep that just as safe and tidy and neat and protected as you can.
I thought I muted in time.
What did you say?
Chris, crunch those chips. Crunch those chips.
Hey, man, you know what? Here's sponsor number 2 for the night. Lay's Cheddar Stacks.
Mm.
You know what, Fez? I'm going to be on The Price is Right in November.
Are you? The
Yeah.
Price is Right. The Price is Right came to Penn State, and I couldn't find nobody to go with. Everybody told me I was crazy for wanting to go.
Go
I'm going up to Connecticut at Foxwoods Casino. That's where they're going to be, November 19th, 20th, 21st, something like that. We're going to be there like 3 or 4 days. So they better call me.
You got to run up with a really funny catchphrase, Chris. Like,
Oh, I'm going to.
Let me see your coins.
Yeah.
Show me your coins.
You got any treasures in your pocket?
Oh, Chris is gonna win $5,000 or $10,000 and ask for it all in pennies.
That's what Glenn good at your dollars.
I like that idea.
Contestant guessed the exact price down to the penny.
Oh yeah.
You know, that show always throws me off because their prices are like California prices.
Well, yeah, because they're based out of California.
Yeah, I know.
That's where the show's at.
So things are so much cheaper here in PA.
That's who Forest Porch is. Now I know. Okay. Now I know. All right, Dell, you get about 7 images ahead of you in line. Dude, they're hitting that email.
Yeah, they are. We're busy.
One here. You want quads or Arthur?
I'm on Super Silverman the third.
You are way ahead of me here.
Let's see, at 8:43 p.m. Super Silverman just loaded them up. Let me get them out.
Oh, I see. It says 9:43 over here. I'll hit quads.
We asked for high resolution images. We got them, and they're big.
Yeah.
The bigger, the better.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to have to restart my app. Something's going on.
I crashed mine already. Oh, I see.
My computer's half on fire.
And I got stuff open from earlier today. I'm gonna need about 20 minutes of click time to shut down stuff.
There's all those extra windows.
I see why. Because my app doesn't understand what kind of photograph format he sent. Let me rename it to JPEG and see if it works. No. Yeah, I don't understand these .heic photos. I don't have an app. Silverman open.
Yeah, never heard of them.
All right. You said you're getting De Beers?
I got him. Let me read it up. It said, what did it say? I can't find a cross reference. He's got a 1960 D over D over D and a question mark. And
60 Ds. Oh,
where are they? You got about 250 different examples of these 1960 D RPMs. Lots of now he's got the regular D. He's got an extra bit up at the front, and it looks like possibly 2 more inside. But one of these, this one could be part of that. Good Lord, there's 240 of them. It will take a couple of hours to get that one picked out right.
Unless you're Chuck, if you could name it right off the top of your head.
Them. And it makes it hard when you go to cross-reference them because, well, geez, now you got to compare to 150 examples over on copper coins, 130 more on Wexler, and some of them, well, they don't have the right die markers. This guy will show you, one guy will show you the mint mark, and he'll give you, say, a polishing mark under the nose, whereas another will give you the mint mark and maybe a die gouge under the vest. And there's 16 of them that look quite similar to this. Are you fooling me? How do you tell? Well, you do the best you can with what you got. You look at mint mark position. You look at the kind of repunching you have, which is, this looks like a D over D over D for sure. Right? But does that mean Wexler got one that was good enough to see the third D? I can't do anything with this photo. So I'm just going to kill that. That was an extra. Yeah, cross-referencing these is a bear. Not all the attributors have enough markers to hold it up to the next guy and say, yep, that's the same one.
Try
for sure. I'm in pretty good shape.
Try 1MM023.
I'm going to go.
Nope, forget it.
1MM is copper coins. That's not it. That's coins of Canada. Here's copper coins. Dude, the best thing you can do is go through them one at a time, and good luck. It'll take you all day. It'll take you hours. There's 1960. Here's Denver. It's a mint mark variety. It is East. Let's see if we can narrow that down. Right offhand, let's see what we can see. It's not too far from number 23, but there's a lot of them that are not too far from number 23. I've got 60 just on the short version here to go through. If it takes 2 minutes to go through each comparison, and you want to compare 240 here to 240 on Wexler, and then 240 on what's the other one, Konica. What do you got there? I got 240.
2 Advil and call me in the morning.
Right. Cubed.
4 o'clock in the morning.
240 times 240 is 13,824,000 different combinations. I won't live long enough.
It turns out to be, if it's a VF 20, $1.50. So
I won't live long enough to be able to do all that. This is what I'm encountering with the database, is putting that together. And is it this one? Is it? How do you tell? It's tough. It's darn near impossible. But by God, we're not going to stop. We're going to get us some interns and some whips.
Yeah, I mean, maybe someone wants to write a book about 1960Ds. Maybe Jessica's the right one.
Maybe Jeff Schumacher could do it. Mention of them. Yeah.
No,
Well,
I despise 60D RPMs.
I just went through, there's 175 listed on Chuck's website. I just briefly went through, looked at the cover photo for each one, and I could not find a match. The closest one was 23. So I would start there, look at that one, and make sure that's not the one. But
It could well be a new discovery.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on how interested you are in RPMs, and I love them. I think they're beautiful. I think they're cool. Have I spent countless hours on 60Ds and other RPMs? Sure. Some of the quarters are that way too. You have 180 varieties of certain ones, 140 varieties. It just, you got to decide if you like it, you like it, and do it. Do what you like.
I don't know. I kind of grew away from RPMs, and just, unless they're drastic, unless they're like bold in your face RPMs, it just doesn't spark my interest. Wait.
Weak.
All right, the next one I believe I have up is Art Ring. And we have a 1961. The email says 1961D, but it's a 1961. Just came across this while enjoying the show. Looks different than any of my other clip planchets. Split planchet too. I'm not sure.
Ken, you want to focus on him, please?
I'm trying. Wait for me.
Oh, what do we got?
Do that.
What do we have?
Does that work?
Whoa.
That looks like a clip planchet.
Would you consider this one a ragged clip?
I guess there's more than one coin here.
That's spinning.
And machine leveling.
A really good example of MD2. That's machine worthy.
I guess this is the straight.
Yeah, it looks like a straight clip. That photo there almost made it look like a little on the ragged side, but straight clip. And there's even some Blakesley effect directly across from it.
Yeah.
It's hard to see, but
Yep, posted in the RPM group. Art Ring, here he is, has a group on Facebook called, what's it called? The RPM group. Yeah, all we do is talk about RPMs.
Almost looks like there's a rim burr up in there too, up near the S. But yeah, that's a little straight clip.
Open.
cool. Very cool art. All right. Let's see. We have Super Silverman sent me some more pics.
I'm trying to open his. It's not working.
Yeah. There's certain ones that are.
HEIC. Okay, that's
Yeah, those HEIC ones I can't open, but he's got some JPEGs in there. I'm on, let's see. I am on his 859.
Yeah, that's the one with the HEIC, so I can't do anything with.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip Quads 60D over D. That's for the RPM group.
Okay.
I'm going to open up John Roberts. Oh, look, you should see.
All right, so Silverman had no subject on this one. Let me just take a look at the photos real quick. D, maybe Liberty.
Grease-filled die.
That's what I've got.
Yeah, it's a grease-filled die.
Are you looking at the picture? Because I'm opening that one. Okay.
Look at that.
This is Silverman.
All righty.
So the date is like basically completely missing on that.
I'm looking for a whole picture somewhere, maybe. I don't think so. Yeah, it's just grease. Is that the date?
Turn of date would be.
Where the date should be. That's a pretty cool one.
Looks like a 95. You can actually narrow this down to a couple of dates. If you look at the FG on the back, you check out his neck, check out his bow tie. But a lot of times the greasing is going to fill those up. RPM or Mark?
Is it so Walking Liberty?
I believe so.
Shape is right. That's a pine cone. That's a bristle cone above it. If there's no known RPM for this date and mint mark, if there's no match, this would want to be looked at in hand.
Yeah, I don't know what the date is on this one. It didn't provide any other information.
All right. Always good to have the front and back.
Yeah.
Are there any OMMs listed?
I mean, there might be something to look at with a 1941D RPM. I don't know what the date is, but
No OMs. Yeah, you got plenty for the 40s.
check 1941D if you got a reference handy.
GC RPM number 1 looks pretty close, but it's got a longer tail than what you're showing.
Yeah, I don't see that.
I'd have to go through. I don't know what the date is.
So it's a 41, he said.
Oh,
Okay,
you did say
41.
41? Okay.
I want to compare it to this one. Let's look at the position. Have you got a die crack in the head
This is the only pick.
or die gouge west of the back boot? I don't think it's strong enough for comparison. Let me see if I can take this and shrink you. Wait, and I got me. I need the screen here, screenshot, and go to number 1. There you go. So you kind of have them side by side here.
Can make yourself larger.
I don't know how, man, dude. I tell you what, I'm going to block you guys for just a minute so we get share the screen, me and Mantic. Right there and right there. How come? Oh, okay. So you see Mantic's on one side, and you see the Brighty Vista listing on the other. And it does have a bit up above, but it keeps on going. Whereas the specimen being looked at, it kind of peters out. So that's the best I've got so far. I want to see what's inside because it does kind of want to say OMM, but the top doesn't look like an OMM. This looks like a repunched D. But we do have some die markers. One west of the head. We've got a die gouge above west of the back boot. And we got a die crack right behind the dollar here. So there's a place to go hunt. Okay, I got to bring these guys back in before they get lost. Oh, good, they stayed.
I think the mint mark location is slightly different as well on that one, Ken. It's close, but I don't think it's exact.
Oh, there's that Fujio. I'm closing a bunch of windows. I've got one open here from John Roberts. He says, is this a greaser or did somebody remove it? And I'm going to pull that and go over here, and here we go. Should be a number right in here, don't you think?
Yes,
Look at the next one. Here's the back. Looks perfectly normal. And I got a good shot right over here that's going to tell you. What do you say?
Clogged die.
That's a greaser. There you go.
Yeah.
We had the half dollar at the start of the show that had a grease-filled die, and the grease was on the field. So in there somewhere is the number, but that's just totally obliterated. But you got more grease on there that could be squeezed about. So the flat field has, an indentation. This bit over here is from a roller wrapping machine. That's not doing it any favors, but you're missing a whole letter number.
It looks like the bottom of the bust has the same type of texture. It may also be affected by that grease.
That'd be a good spot for it. It's nice and deep in the die. Greaser, keep it or don't keep it. That's up to you. This damage on the left isn't doing any favors. Let's see.
All right, I've got Forrest sent one in. My brother's name is Forrest, by the way. All right. 1930S I believe this is a min error and not PMD. Do you agree?
Looks like a lamination.
Yeah. Peeled up from inside the 3 and folded over.
Yep, that's what it is.
You have an alloy
Lamination
issue.
error. That's a cool little lamination error.
Yep, that's a small one. You don't get them in that position very often.
Probably the mint marks would have held that fold in there. Otherwise, it probably would have came off by now. So it's
Another
kind of
great reason to look through Wheaties. How many of these you come across? You're not going to find these in modern coins.
No, the 10 left. Whoa. What the hell was that?
Hey, speaking of which, Pete Apple recently had an article that he wrote published in, was it Error Scope or Coin World?
air
He
scope, I think.
He has been sharing it in some of the Facebook groups, but keep an eye out for that. The article talks about how lamination errors seem to only affect the solid alloy coins as opposed to the plated coins.
Well, the plating is this thin. And
Right.
it's also not an alloy. It would be solid copper. Like just one layer of pure copper.
Yeah, it's September, October of air scope
Yeah.
is where it's at.
So he gets in pretty deep with the details on as far as why you don't see them on the newer coins. So check it out. Pete's a cool guy, really smart and great writer. He helped me out a lot on my blog. So thank you for that, Pete.
What'd you get there with that nickel?
Look at the rim on the left-hand side. I'm going to have to say this one's damaged.
This one came in from Captain Jigga.
I have to agree with Chris on this one.
But 10 o'clock, it's deformed. The rim is deformed. It's jumbled up. That's a big indicator of damage because the rim is formed separately from the rest of the coin.
That's a photo of a different coin.
Frank.
Yeah, it says, looks like a 1943 over 2 to me. What do you think? Found it in a roll 2 weeks ago. The Jefferson looks like a struck through. However, the rim damage makes me believe it's just PMD. Let's look at that. Let's take one at a time, right?
Jefferson PMD.
Yeah.
That was PMD. Move on. And the reason why we say that is you have that damage on the left that's in the same area as the beginning of where that kind of happens. And if you look up over his face, you have damage in that area down across where the date is. You just have like areas of just damage that lead into that.
That's a gunner.
And on the reverse, you have flattened designs directly opposite of the anomaly on the obverse.
It's absorbed the blow. Somebody smashed that with a hammer.
And then the 43 over 2.
I do like the bottom of that 3 there. There's something going on there. Let me see here.
I'm pulling up Ruddy based on that.
This thing.
Not quite. Doesn't match any known listings. Very possible that
there.
that might be a little bit of a die crack.
Yeah, the 43 over 2, you want a really, really good fish hook in there. At least what I call.
Yeah, the barb on the fish hook that gets stuck in your thumb.
Yeah, the 43 over 2 is what you want.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's some sort of like die chip or something on the bottom left of the 3. But it's something that I would have definitely taken a second look at. This is where it gets fun. You start looking through the coins and you see these little anomalies, and you start to do a little research to see what it could possibly be. And next thing you know, you're finding double dies left and right.
So Captain Jig is asking, is the Discovery 43 over 2 then? There's not enough there for me to call it a 43 over 2.
No, I don't see any indication saying that. They're saying look in the upper part of the 3. That Captain Jiggin name makes me think of like early Jay-Z stuff.
No, he's groovy. He won the Big Show not long ago.
I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary there.
I'm trying to quickly sift through Brian's variety coins.
Yeah, but nothing. It's a P. Ever starts reaching for reference manuals.
Yeah, it doesn't mention 43 over 2.
Nothing else in green except for the big fish hook.
What is that to the left of the top of the 3? I'm not seeing anything other than a little dark spot, but
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
can you zoom out a little bit, Shay?
Sure.
I don't see anything there.
Well, the little
Me
line
neither.
between the point and the ball is straight in line with this bit at the end. Chip, crack. That's the first things I look at. Inside is a 90-degree turn, and looks like another bit of coffee-based metal, but that could just as easily be a dig. Looking at the dark shadow below it, and the summation of those lines you're making does not draw a 2.
The Great Pyramid.
Yeah, that there is art. If you think it's something, hold on to it. If you want to send it in, I'd be more than happy to take a look at it. But I'm not hopeful right now because I do have some damage sticking around this thing. I've got the bit on the side of the 3, a lot of heavy wear. You can see that on the rim. I'm not hopeful for you. This would not cause me to send it into for inspection.
All right, John Claggett, we'll take a look in just a minute. We don't have that many left, so we're getting there. Let's see.
I think I killed the email.
I'm on Coin Dragon. I think. Yeah.
Trigonometry flashbacks. Says Frank. I had fun in Trig.
Let me get the dragons here.
Yeah, I think in high school in trigonometry, I think I ended up with like 105% for the class. So I didn't mind it.
All right.
Oh hey, shout out to Ken about taking priority boxes and making boxes out of them. I got tired of paying for slab boxes. Shout out to one of old Ken's videos. If you follow Ken for a while, you don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, man.
Apparently, you didn't read the warning on the box.
I didn't see no warning on the box. It must have got cut off. Chris, when I got the box, there was no warning label. It was already pre-cut like that when I got it from the post office.
That's a good story. I'd stick to it.
Yeah. I don't have the other part of the box. I have no clue what happened there.
Coin Dragon says 1875 dot reverse Indian head cent. Believe this to be one of the cents struck on the reverse die used to find a mint thief, as in the video CJ made.
Dot?
Give us some more info.
I'm not familiar, so.
CJ, are you here?
He's here.
Okay.
What's the date?
1875.
They put a gouge in the die intentionally. Jeff Stanley says that I probably cut labels off of mattresses. If you read the if you read the labels, it says you're allowed to cut them off, but as long as you're not selling it, most do at least.
If you are the final consumer, you may remove those labels.
Dude, you really don't have much of a market on used mattresses, because are you going to sleep on it?
Apparently, you never watched Storage Wars, man.
Yeah, nothing but used mattress sale, $4. It would have to be pretty darn cheap. I got no idea what I'm looking for.
I don't either. So I'm not
one.
So it's actually on the top of the N. There is a website. I'll copy and paste it to the private chat because that's about as all I can do. And if you guys want to share it, and according to this, it says it's the only reverse die dot proven to be a deliberate act to catch a mint thief. Other reverse die dots are listed as oddities. So it was intentional damage, but the coin that's being shown here does not match. There's a large dot at the top of the N.
Is it that?
No, it should be on top of the N.
It's actually on the N itself.
Yeah, I got a screenshot here I can give you.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Should be right there.
I don't see you. I still see me.
Oh. No, which one do I'm going to press this button over here. That one. Nope, this one. There, that one. Okay. There's a dot in the center of the N on top. But it's on the N. 1875.001. Cross-reference S16. Snow 16.
That dot.
That's it. Look for the dot. So is that the dot? Not hard time seeing it, really.
No. It would need to be up higher and more to the left.
And round.
Yeah, this one's
Yeah,
kind of heart-shaped, isn't it?
The dots are usually round.
Still 1875. It's a better date. Indian. Looks like it's not trashed either.
Well, you got that one.
There's a different picture in the Cherry Picker's Guide.
I just had that. Oh, there it is. There's too many books here now.
Man, you guys are getting good. You guys are stumping the panel now. That's awesome. I love it. We got homework.
That's how we get better.
Yeah.
You do the same thing over and over again, you're not moving forward. You start studying stuff that you never heard of or seen before, you're learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go to every week and I write down stuff.
Here it is in the Cherry Picker's Guide. And again, it's on top, it's centered, and it's round.
Yeah.
And they're calling it a possible die alteration. A crude dot. Okay.
Yep, I'm not seeing it on this coin here.
I'm not feeling the love, but I'm hoping for you.
I don't know what language Frank's using now, but
It is getting late.
Okay, let's stop the further photos. We got 2 to go.
Yeah, I've got Forrest coming up here.
Yep. Boop, boop, boop.
Okay.
That's what Frank's speaking. I don't know what it is, but I can speak it.
I guess he is close to Canada. Some of their words start mixing together.
Whatever Frank's saying reminds me of those two puppets from what was it, Sesame Street or something? But they used to go yip, 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 yip.
Muppets.
The Muppets. You rock, Del Marvelous.
I'll get John Claggett open. You want to do that?
I got it open. 1951 D. B.I.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can see it from a mile away. So it is.
100% die chip. You'll find them all over the 50s. There's a site called Cuds on Coins. I'm going to give you that link. There you go. And you're looking for a LDB, a Lincoln Cent die break. In particular, LDB4. Left of the L is 1. Between the L and I is 2. Between the I and B is 3. Between the B and E is 4. So it's LDB4. Yeah, they're kind of common. Not particularly common. You can find them, but there's bunches of them. The idea is collect them all. There are people striving to get a full set of these things. They're out there. Dude, you can get them on Moderns. what was it, 95, 96?
95, yeah.
Yep. 2012 has one. 2013 has one. But in the 50s, they were replete with die chips, and especially in the letters and in the date.
Well, because they beat the living bejesus out of those dies.
They ran them to the ground, man. Hey, we can get out of strike with this. Hit it with a hammer. We'll make it work.
Well, that was the post-war economy boom of the 50s when they had to start managing coins like never before.
There we go. And I've got one. Let's see. I'm going to make me big and go to here for the screen. And remember that funny little piece that John Claggett had with that looked like what? A second strike or an indent? He says it looks like an L. Well, here it is. And man,
Okay.
It looks like an L.
In that direction, yes, I see it now.
I got a few more. This looks like an L.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, there is such a thing as a flip over second strike. That looks like an L.
No, it does.
Oh, you might be able to see a little bit of the eye there.
Okay, measure it. Is it the same height and thickness and length as the L on Liberty? These can be quantified, and it would support the idea that it's a flip over. And if that be the case, and I suspect it is, yeah, that's a heck of a keeper.
Cool.
You can go to error ref, type in a flip over second strike, and effectively there's a coin that let's see, was struck, then flipped over and didn't fully exit the striking chamber, and this was then indented on a second planchet, or just struck a second time. So you want to look at the other side and see if you got any wheat ears on that. That'd be a heck of a find. That would confirm it. And if there's no wheat ears, well, it could be that there was another planchet there.
It's a memorial, Ken.
Is it?
Yep.
Well, see if you got any memorial parts there. How do I get this back? I'm stuck.
Jeff Stanley says he just got his first attribution on Cuds on Coins, his 2019 spike head that we looked at on here. Very cool.
Outstanding.
That's no easy feat, man.
Yep. Your photos have to be right and tight to.
How many times did you have to send the same photos?
The longest 4, 5.
Be nice. Yeah, but what you have done is made a contribution to the hobby. You are now an official numismatist.
Yeah.
You have discovered a new variety. That's a good feather in your cap.
He says twice.
Outstanding.
He's picky with the paper.
I got a bunch on there too, but I worked really hard for them and I gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the the 43S. There was a 43 retained cud on that steel set. I only sent him in once. He didn't like my photos. He asked for new photos, but he put up the original photos I gave him.
Thanks. Okay, it happens.
All right. That was all the mail.
Wow, that was a lot of mail today.
That was good, guys.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
John says he bought that as an off center for $3, but a flip over double struck changes things. Yeah, put that in front of someone up close and personal in real life, and who has some experience with air coins. You might get a better opinion than off center, because if that is an L, well, it's been struck twice and it's on the wrong side, so it's a flip over restrike. Yeah. It becomes a peach, and it's probably good for, $40, $50.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of $3.
Yeah. Nice.
Cindy says, great show. Cindy, thanks for coming in and keeping the peace and doing your thing and being awesome. We want to thank everybody who helped out. Paula was here earlier. We got Shoemart, Coin Chats with the beard there. We got Dog over here on the right, in the orange. You got the Mantic Master in the blue. This is me. Yep. All the moderators who jumped in to do their thing, all the folks that have stopped in. Make sure you hit like. Also, if you look below, you're going to find links to all the channels of these guys. Geez, if you like them in here, you love them on their own shows. But what we do also is we jump from channel to channel. we got no way to pay these guys, so we give them some attention by hosting this show on a different channel each week. Next week it's on Mantic Coins. Now that he's feeling better and talking again. So make sure you bookmark or subscribe or write it down on a piece of tissue paper. The link to all these guys' channels. It'd be good for you.
I'm up next week.
You are up. That's
Okay.
right. It'll be fun. Now we were hoping to get Mickey Rob's Banks tonight. He had some wonderful finds, but he called in. Somebody had called in where he worked, and he's working to cover their shift. So he's out there working overtime right now, so he can get more money, so he can buy more coins. God love him. So he couldn't make it this week, but he was going to stop in and tell us a story of his fantastic find with the W quarters before the release date. It meant they wouldn't have anything to do with it. No, that wasn't us. They don't really exist. Nothing to see here, folks. Return to your homes. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I mean, the whole bit.
I am. I just want to say I'm really proud of you guys. You're sending in great photos, great questions, and I think you're all learning a lot. So it shows by the questions you're asking and the pictures you're taking. So
yeah, compare the show now to what it was like 6 months ago when we started this project. It's really working.
When you started, when you started on a Thursday long ago.
It's working. Del Marvelous says, thanks, guys, all so much. I learn so much every time I attend the stream. Ken Peavey meant the coin Schumann Road Dog. Thanks to the panel, says Jeff. Later, haters. Take it easy, Spitfire. Oh, I mean Gators, he says. Gators. You think my 30D over S is worth grading? That was the lamination?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a lamination. No, probably not. It's a minor lamination. The area of coverage is this big. Think of grading as an advanced level skill, and if you have to ask if you should have the coin certified, the answer should be no. You got to be able to do your own homework, right? Come up with the value on your own. Use your own judgment to estimate the value, estimate the grade on your own, and determine, geez, is there a return on that investment? Is there a way to recover the money you're putting into that coin, or is it just an expense? Because that doesn't really make any sense.
It is worth flipping and keeping as a reference.
No, it is that.
I would like to add something to that. Ken, you covered it very well with the grading part, but let's not forget what the whole purpose of sending a coin off for grading is. Ideally, you want high-grade coins to be slabbed. Having an error or a variety on a coin doesn't necessarily warrant the grading. The condition of the coin does. Now, if you're talking 55 double die or something, then yes, you want to grade it probably in any condition, because it's one of the most counterfeited varieties out there. So having it in the slab and attributed by professionals would be a good idea. But in most cases, just because there's a coin with an error or variety on it would not warrant grading.
Yep, he says it's VF to XF. He loves it. Well, then keep it, man.
Yep.
It won't be long, and you'll be as nuts as we are. Okay, look, it's time for me to get in the kitchen and reach around and feel for some food and stuff, and then get back to looking at coins. Thank you, everybody, for making this a really happening thing. We're really making good progress with this. All right. I'm out of here, guys.
Yeah, everybody.
Yep, see you guys.
Bye.
Guys.